go into State of Origin for 1997.
Tonight at the Melbourne Cricket Ground, New South Wales versus Queensland.
Emergency now. Then for Lamb. Took in a little kick. Work for Brooker.
Suncorp turned on a tension-packed opener as the shock troops threw themselves into the fray.
He hits that back on his shoulders. Oh!
Queensland's fighting spirit kept them in the contest.
Oh yes, he's through! Lamb down to the 20, looking for Dallas and fight again.
But it wasn't enough to deny the Blues.
Here's a chance. The ball goes out to the ringer, that's pushed out. Then McGregor. McGregor's on his way for the line. First try of the Origin.
Now the Maroons are on a mission to even the score.
Lamb trying to get through, he's over. Lamb is across.
Round 2 of the Coca-Cola State of Origin series. Right here on the one and only Wide World of Sports.
Hello and welcome to the Melbourne Cricket Ground, a venue that has provided some of the most enduring moments in Australian sports history. From football grand finals and the Centenary Cricket Test to the 1956 Olympic Games. Tonight it presents us with another chapter in the tale of rugby league's greatest rivalry, Queensland versus New South Wales. And a man who's been very much a part of that history is both player and commentator, Peter Sterling. Peter, I guess it's the last throw of the dice for Queensland, isn't it?
All the pressure on Queensland tonight, of course, Ken. A loss tonight would see the series over for them for 1997. They've now lost 4 in a row, and another defeat tonight would see them create the wrong kind of history.
OK, well, that's certainly a lot hinging on that. Not everybody can claim the honour of treading the MCG's hallowed turf, but the members of our commentary team aren't passing up that opportunity. In fact, they've been down there sampling the atmosphere of this great stadium, and it's a very good evening to Ray Warren.
Ken, it's Australia's #1 sports venue for football, undoubtedly. It's big and it's awesome, and I guess that's the way players find it when they run out there for the first time, particularly rugby league players from New South Wales and Queensland. A man that should know something about that is Phil Gould. He'll join us in commentary tonight. As a coach, did you do much different in preparation for here?
Yeah, we had to, Ray. I mean, it's a much bigger ground than we're used to playing in Sydney. The crowd's a long way away. And the 2 times that New South Wales have come here in the past, they've lost the first game of the series. So it was really a crunch game for us and a lot of pressure on.
I guess particularly difficult for the kickers.
It is. Well, I mean, back at home, you get the crowd to guide you down the sidelines, and they really have to orientate themselves so they know where they're kicking the football. And the players themselves, with so many wide open spaces, probably takes a little while for them to settle down on this dewy surface and with the big spaces. But we did plenty of training. We trained here a couple of times, and the players will be ready for this one.
I don't suppose there's any need to ask you who's going to win?
No, Blues tonight, mate.
There it is from Phil Gould, who coached the New South Wales side in 94-95. The captain of Queensland in 95 when they wrapped it up was Trevor Gillmeister. He joins us tonight also on the sidelines. Fond memories.
Yeah, I suppose, Ray, to win the series down here, especially being the traditional ground it is and the things that go with it is, really good.
Take us through it. The dressing rooms, the run out, and then, of course, the end.
Well, I've never seen dressing sheds like it here. They're huge. But I know it's a great setup. The whole the ground itself, the people love the game. I think they just love everything down here. And I really enjoyed myself down here. And I hope Queensland do make it 1-1.
Well, it was a memorable night. Let's hope that tonight for Queensland is just as memorable.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, for Fatty's sake as well. I know he's so, I suppose, really gut-wrenched about that first game, and he's really keen. I know that. And if they play with half the pride he does, he's got in Queensland, they'll win.
Trevor, good luck on the sidelines tonight as he barracks for Queensland, undoubtedly. Steve Roach will try and balance the equation, though, as he always does, barracking for the Blues. This pitch is a bit slippery, Steve.
Yeah, that'll be the biggest problem for the players tonight. It'll be slipping over. We've seen the last 2 games that are played here, a lot of players slipping over. I'm sure the ones with the experience would have told their mates to bring the long sprigs.
You were a bit critical, more than critical, of the Queensland forwards. They didn't provide much go forward, to use your words, at Suncorp. What have they got to do tonight?
Well, they did have a few excuses. They took injury in the game. You should never take injuries into State of Origin games especially. I thought their offloading skills in the first half was pretty ordinary. Also, their second phase play wasn't there, and their variation around the ruck wasn't as good as it should have been.
And New South Wales?
New South Wales to win, mate. They were outstanding, New South Wales. In the first half, they got a lot of second phase play, but then they shut down when they led 8-0 at half-time. I'm sure we'll see a lot more open game tonight.
So it'll be over at the end of tonight?
It certainly will. New South Wales to win.
There it is, Steve Roach, Trevor Gilmeister and Phil Gould. They join us in commentary. Ken, back to you in central commentary.
Thank you, Ray. We're counting down to the kick-off of Game 2 of the Coca-Cola State of Origin series. It promises to be a drama-charged evening. After the break, we meet some of the leading members of the cast.
The following fan cam messages were recorded live on Origin night and will be shown to the Blues before they take the field for Origin 2.
You know you make me wanna get the Blues!
Up the Blues!
The Blues, the Blues! The Blues!
Up the Blues! Go to the Blues! Come on! Take those toes! New South Wales!
Go to Woo! Mate! One down! Two to go!
Jim Brescia, look after that cute face.
Introducing the all-new Nissan Navara. It's tough enough to take a full load in the back, but be warned, it's very, very powerful.
Just wait till you drive it.
My job is to deliver over 10,000 prizes every weekday. And they call me lucky.
Every weekday there are 10,000 winners on the lucky lotteries, so hey, it might as well be you.
Are you putting your health first?
We are. With the specialist of your choice. The most modern equipment, delivering the highest quality care in the safest environment 24 hours a day. With privacy when you need it most. At the Hunter's leading private hospitals, there's no waiting.
Cristo Road, Lingard and Warners Bay Private Hospitals. We're putting your health first.
Who takes the headache out of your insurance claim for broken glass for your home, shop or office? All you pay is the insurance excess. We do the rest.
This isn't a real situation, and I'm glad it isn't. Because no one was doing CPR. Every time we are called to a heart attack, we hope someone is keeping CPR going until we get there. Then this defibrillator has a better chance at shocking a person's heart back into normal rhythm. Don't put it off. Make a point of learning CPR.
Project Restart is brought to you by the Greater Building Society.
When you multi-list with EAC, your home is featured in this book, The EAC Realtor. It comes out every Friday and it's free. Make sure your agent puts your home in the Realtor. It's the book where buyers look.
On Our House Sunday, a functional seat with a view.
Somewhere to hide the boyfriend if the parents come home early.
A kitchen loaded with great ideas and a whole new way of life.
I love my space. I just love it, and I had it.
Our House at the special time 6:30 Sunday. And on Money with Paul Clitheroe, a super way out of super debt.
We'll reveal a surprising solution.
It certainly helped a lot, yeah.
Plus the home loan dilemma, fixed or variable.
You could save thousands.
Money at the special time 7 o'clock Sunday.
Back at the MCG, Peter Sterling, you did everything in rugby league, but you didn't play here.
Unfortunately, no, Ken, and I'm very jealous of the players who've been down here with that opportunity, and also the 34 tonight that'll be showing their wares this evening.
Well, let's take a look at the teams right now, Peter. First up, the Blues, and there has been a couple of changes, and quite significant as we talk through them.
They are. Tim Brasher is at fullback. Ken McGuinness comes in on the wing for the injured Rod Wishart. Jamie Ainscough, Paul McGregor, Terry Hill, the centres. Dimmick and Tuvey, the halves. Jeff Tuvey, the captain, of course. And the forward pack looks this way. Nick Kossev at lock. Muir and Menzies in the second row. Front row of Mark Carroll, Paul Harrigan, and John Simon comes into the team in the hooker role. He's normally the halfback, of course, but Tom Rodonicus has chosen to play John Simon in the run on side. Very interesting move there by the coach. And Aaron Raper, the player who was brought into the side for the injured Andrew Johns, leads the players off the coach. It's going to be interesting to see how long before Aaron Raper does come into this game. He's a specialist hooker. Big Kosef there, one of the Manly connections, so important to this team. Timmy Brasher and Robbie O'Davis, a magnificent contest in the fullback role there. And Tom Radonicus, we're speaking to him later about that change. Most people thought that he would leave Johnson.
You know, if we can get more line breaks in New South Wales tonight, you know, we'll come home with a wet sail.
Well, let's hope it's 1-1 tonight. Good luck.
Thanks, Blocker.
Steve Roach there with Julian O'Neill. I think he said he's looking forward to the game tonight. Don't go away. After the break, we catch up with Tommy and Fatty, rival coaches in the Coca-Cola State of Origin series.
Experience the madness of Jim Carrey. Nobody's going to the bathroom during this one. The making of Liar Liar tonight.
This Thursday's Powerball jackpot is $7 million.
Anything you can do, I can do better. I can do anything better than you. No, you can't. Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
At the recent World Cheese Championships, Australia won Best Hard Cheese and Best Soft Cheese. So don't look overseas for great cheese. Look for Australian made or the Dairy Goods symbol. What's the easiest way to get gas?
Gee, I don't know.
Easy Gas from Elgas. With Easy Gas, there's no worries about reordering. The computer programs your needs and tops you up regularly.
Gee, that's clever.
But if it's an exchange cylinder you're after, Elgas has them as well.
Gee whiz.
So call Elgas on 131 161.
Nice and easy does it.
Because life's easier with Elgas.
The government rebate means more parents can now afford top health cover for their kids. The excellent MBF rebate optimizer has all this cool stuff. We are family. I got all my sisters with me. We are family. Ow! Lucky the whole family's covered. Call MBF now on 132 623.
Go around the new Kia Mentor SLX and you'll see that at $15,990 all up, no more to pay, it's the best value 5-door hatch in Australia, but only while stocks last. Incredible? No, it's a...
See Australia's favourite resort. Enjoy the transformation of one of Europe's great cities.
Frost!
And Katrina joins the Mile High Club. Getaway Thursday on NBN.
Welcome back to State of Origin, coming to you from the MCG. Now, after waiting for more than a decade for his chance, Tom Radonicus has shown that his unique brand of fireworks and finesse is tailor-made for the Origin coaching job. His side leads the series 1-0, and Tommy is tipping the Blues will be painting Melbourne red before the night is out. Andrew Voss caught up with him and asked him about the all-important change to the starting lineup.
The only bloke, Aaron Raper, will be out and he'll be replaced by Johnny Simons.
What about preparation for this match? Have you done anything different as compared to game one?
No, not really. We changed a few things around and we just had a good team talk before we came over here. So the boys are pretty well prepared.
Well, what can we expect from the first 10 or 15 minutes? The last time we were here, 1995, things really erupted.
Yeah, well, you know, we just got to wait and see how things pan out. It's going to be pretty tough out there.
It's a big night for New South Wales, but what about for Tommy Raudonikis? I mean, this is a chance to wrap up the State of Origin series. Are you nervous?
Yeah, I'm a little bit nervous, but, I'm very sort of settled down a bit, I suppose. I've got a few butterflies, but, we're very confident wrapping it up, and we just got to go out and do the basic things right.
Okay, Tommy, what's the last thing you'll say to the team before they go out?
Go out and enjoy yourself.
Tommy, good luck tonight.
On you.
Well, Tommy's man, a few words tonight. Looks like he's like this. This is the one. He really wants to be MCG, wraps it up, takes the pressure off, goes to game 3, and it's all nice and relaxed.
All these opportunities don't present themselves too often. When in Rome, got the drop punt going, so too Jimmy Dimmick. And he's just looking for a similar performance from game 1, probably a little bit more, maybe exciting in attack, take a few more options. And Aaron Raper, he'll come into the game at some stage. John Simon will start at hooker, but we will see him at first receiver. Jeff Tuvey, despite the fact he is in the halfback number, the number 7, he will be the dummy half for most of the game.
Do you like the idea of Simon starting the game at hooker?
I think so, yeah. I think it's a good move. John Simon's been at State of Origin level before and starred there, and I just think the fact that they were together in game 1, the continuity continues.
And he was an impact player in game 1 and had a heck of a match. Word from the Queensland camp is that coach Paul Vaughton called on the video from that legendary Maroons victory in game 2 of the 1987 series. That's the sort of inspiration his side will need to get back in the chase. Now, whether he remains in the job or resigns his commission after tonight's game, Fatty has made it clear that defeat is simply not an option. He spoke with Andrew Voss.
Well, Fatty, the news that New South Wales have made a late change with John Simon in the starting lineup. What about Queensland? There has been some speculation that you'd change the starting lineup.
No, we'll run on as picked in the program, Andrew.
Why will tonight be different for Queensland? What did you learn from game 1?
Well, we found a few holes in their defence we feel we can exploit, and also the desperation of the situation. We have never been, in our history, been beaten 5 games in a row, Queensland, so we aim to put a stop to that.
Fatty, Tommy's been pretty coy about how the first 10-15 minutes will pan out. Last time we were here, 1995, it erupted basically in the first scrum. What's the Queensland view on things?
Well, I don't condone fighting. I don't want there to be any fighting, but the boys are very keen to play well, and they're very keyed up for a big game. So who knows what'll happen?
Julian O'Neill on the bench for this one. Now, have you got it clear in your mind when you'll use him, or are you going to wait and see how the game goes?
Look, I think he'll be coming on after 15 or 20 minutes. It's a matter of having a goal kicker on there, and we won't start with one. So we'll have to wait and see.
Okay, if you believe all the press of the past week, it's almost been billed as Fatty's last stand. The coaching future of Paul Vaughton, does that take a backseat to everything that happens tonight?
Andrew, it's not even an issue, and it doesn't even concern me. All that worries me is that we have to win this for Queensland, for the people up there, mainly for ourselves, We just want to win it for ourselves, that's all.
And Paul Vaughton on edge, not far from kick-off?
No, I'm fine, actually. I'm quite relaxed. I'm a lot more calm than the previous game. Because I'll tell you why, because I'm so confident we're going to win this and win it well.
All right, good luck in the bid to square the series.
Thanks.
Yeah, well, he means business, Fatty, doesn't he?
He always does, and they need to tonight, and the Ducks and Drakes continue, and that's one of the other things I like about State of Origin. There is a late change for the Queensland starting lineup. Wayne Bartram will be in the run-on side. That pushes Jamie Goddard onto the bench. Bartram is one of the strike players for Queensland. He's also a very accomplished goal kicker. I think it's a move that Paul Vaughton had to make. Stuart Kelly is in the side. Mentioned the fact that he's played very little football in the top grade. Meteoric rise. I thought he handled it quite well when he came on in game 1. And Paul Vaughton was quite critical of his captain there, Adrian Lamb, in the first 40 minutes of game 1. He thought that he tried to captain the side and organise them without really playing. He'll be looking for his running game from the word go. This man here, Craig Smith, I've got no doubt carried an injury into that first match, and really that was one of the weaknesses in the Queensland team, that go forward from their front 6.
Still, there was only 2 points separating the two teams in game 1. Is that indicative of the difference between the sides, or do you think New South Wales were more dominant than that?
I thought it flattered Queensland to some degree, but I also think it should be a warning sign for New South Wales. I thought they were very comfortably in control of that game, yet at the end of it they had to hang on to a great finish from Queensland. We've seen that before. New South Wales, they've got to put points on, and when the opportunities present themselves, they've got to make a bird of it. I don't think they did that in the 80 minutes up there.
A lot's been also said that Queensland are a much speedier side. Do you see that as being absolutely lay down truth, fact?
If Brett Dallas gets into the clear, they won't catch him, that's all I know.
Yeah, we don't see too much of him. Maybe he'll get a few metres tonight. We're just minutes away from kick-off here at the MCG. Don't go away.
Thursday, a life at the crossroad.
Looks like Carol Hathaway's going to medical school.
A mother's anguish.
Are you sure you want to see this?
And a blatant cover-up.
All I did was make an adjustment to a chart.
8:30 Thursday.
Something I should know about?
ER on NBN.
Did you use the GTX?
Boss, that GTX costs a few bucks extra.
Maybe Bruno. This car cost me a lot of dough, and I ain't risking it to save a couple
If your
of
car's worth a couple of extra bucks, it's worth Castrol GTX.
KFC's $16.95 Family Feast is now even better value. With 10 pieces of chicken, large chips, coleslaw, potato and gravy, plus a family dessert or a Pepsi.
Are you tired of paying too much tax? Would you like to put your money to work for you instead of the taxman? All you do is buy an oil field, a tea tree oil field, and we'll show you how to pay for it with money you would otherwise have paid in tax. Sign up to become a tea tree grower, and you can deduct most of the cost from your tax and stand to make substantial profits as well. Backed by world-class Australian research, the Oilfields Project number 2 offers returns forecast after tax at 42% a year. Sound good? It should, because it's your chance to take part in a boom industry and pay for it by claiming a $25,000 tax break for an initial outlay of just $2,509. The Oilfields Project number 2. Call for a prospectus on 1-800-063-800. Invest in your future and stop working for the taxman.
Call your nearest Kia dealer now about the all-new award-winning Kia Sportage. Because at this price, it's really upsetting the apple cart.
Are you putting your health first?
We are. With the specialist of your choice. The most modern equipment. Delivering the highest quality care in the safest environment 24 hours a day. With privacy when you need it most. At the Hunter's leading private hospitals, there's no waiting.
Cristo Road, Lingard and Warners Bay Private Hospitals. We're putting your health first.
It's out now! Tool Specialist giant 96-page catalogue jam-packed full of bargains. Purchase any item from the catalogue and you could win thousands and thousands of dollars of tools and prizes. Come in and pick up your copy now. Tool Specialist, one address only, 53 Maitland Road, Sandgate. After last week, they can do anything.
I want you back.
What will they pull off next? Find out 9:30 Thursday on The Footy Show here on NBN.
We are set now for Game 2 of the State of Origin Series for 1997 here at the MCG, and a good crowd pouring in. They've come in late and looks like they're going to really enjoy something very special here this evening. And to call all the action, the voice of rugby league, here is Ray Warren.
Ken, thank you very much, and good evening again, everybody. We're just waiting now for the players to come out of the dressing rooms, the New South Wales team in a huddle in their dressing room. And the Maroons just milling around and probably trying to stay as relaxed as they possibly can. Of course, it's all been documented. This is do or die for Queensland. New South Wales have that little comfort zone of knowing that they can take this to Sydney.
It is a golden anniversary all round.
You're a very kind
still
son. This is my third birthday in Melbourne in the last 4 years, and I don't feel as though I've gotten any older. But here's New South Wales now leading the Blues. Jeff Tuvey will lead the Blues for the second time tonight. And just a couple of changes to their lineup. Ken McGuinness taking the place of Rod Wishart, and Aaron Raper replacing Andrew Johns. Quite a long walk from the sheds that Trevor Gilmister was talking about earlier on. And now on to a ground that they will probably find quite greasy, dampened by the rains here in the southern capital. But the Blues are out there in front of a crowd that enlarged rather rapidly. Went from probably 15 to 20, 25 very, very quickly. Now the Maroons. Paul Horton expects to win and win comfortably. Brave words, but then what else could he say? Adrian Lamb, I think you'll find that he will be involved more often more often and sooner tonight than in Origin 1. We'll just stay with the Maroons. Where's Billy? Big night for them. Big night for everybody. The game on show again in Melbourne in a year that has been in more ways than one turbulent for this great game. Brett Dallas, runaway try on this ground in 95. And a big night, of course, for that young man, Stuart Kelly. Standing by for the national anthem. It'll be performed tonight by Maria Mercedes. She's currently performing in Sunset Boulevard at Melbourne's Regent Theatre, and she's got the honour tonight, and here she is.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please be upstanding for the Australian national anthem, performed this evening by Maria Mercedes, one of the stars of Sunset Boulevard.
Of Maria Mercedes. Crowd now settling back for what hopefully will be a tremendous battle. Quite in contrast to the size of the audience. Both sides there to turn it on in the Coca-Cola State of Origin 2. David Manson, his 10th State of Origin reinstated. New South Wales' home game. Queensland would get the choice of referee. They've gone for David, and he blows time on. So in front of the Melbourne crowd at the Melbourne Cricket Ground, State of Origin 2 is off and running, and Larson is the first to bring it back, playing in his 20th consecutive Origin match tonight. And now the Maroons, they go on the right of the ground for Jason Smith to be hit and put down by Menzies and Terry Hill jointly. The third tackle of the game, Lamb drifting across, and then a pulverising tackle coming from Nick Kosef and also from Adam Muir. Tierney in the run-on side is put down just inside his own 40-metre line, and Bartram in 14, a dummy half, using Smith, commonly referred to as a small front rower. He tips the scales at 105 kilos as Bartram kicks from dummy half, and that will be an advantage of having him there early. Brasher comes away from inside his own 20-metre line. He's put down by the Maroons, 3 of them in all. One of them was the kicker, another was Coyne, and another New South Welshman is driven back in the defence of Robbie O'Davis that time.
Two great tackles from Robbie O'Davis. First one.
Good opportunity for the Blues on the second tackle, and their first sight of enemy territory. They go away through Kosef, wide for McGregor, who put the ball over the stripe in the first one. He goes inside the 20, put down 15 away from the Queensland line. For Dimmick then to throw the dummy and then give it for Tuvey on the second occasion. Misunderstanding there. McGregor flick passes. New South Wales are over. McGuinness has gone in on the far side of the ground. It was all too simple. Ken McGuinness has gone over to score in his second Origin match.
Yes, and you'll find that it was young Stuart Kelly who's had an unfortunate start to this game who was at fault. They come one side, go back the other, and as we freeze play there, you can see that this man here, Stuart Kelly, stays out of the line as play continues. He hangs back, and that opened up an overlap. Finally, he has to come in, but Ken McGuinness coming back on the inside took advantage. He'd just been poleaxed in trying to make a tackle on Paul McGregor before that, dropped in behind the line. By the time he came up, the damage had been done. And the elusiveness of both McGregor and Ken McGuinness took advantage of the situation perfectly.
Quite incredible, the New South Wales bench, that was their reaction. But quite incredible, because I'm sure there was a misunderstanding between Dimmick and Tuvey. So the impact of what was about to happen had been lost. But Kelly was fielding in the deep. And now John Simon from 22 metres out. Well, what a start for the Blues. They had not been in Queensland's territory, and the first time they visited, they've come away with the 4 points. So Simon is offline. We've got points early in Origin 2, 4-0 New South Wales.
The Chic FX Performer, with its unique skin guard, lubricating strip, and even greater flexibility, gives our closest, most comfortable shave yet. The Chic FX Performer, changing the face of shaving.
And that kick-off from Bartram gets us going again, and it's Brasher who's put down 15 metres away from the New South Wales line. And if you remember correctly, that didn't take them long to come from this end of the park to the other and to post those points. This is Jamie Ainscough, dangerously close to the sideline, and in the tackle he's tried to throw it, and you'll find that the Maroons will get the feed and the loose head. Ainscough is mystified. Dallas showed him the sideline. Coyne came in, and jointly they disposed of Jamie Ainscough, who unloads the ball. In fact, it probably was knocked out by the impact of the Queenslanders' knee. But now it's O'Davis into his back line. Early minutes of State of Origin 2, and New South Wales by 4 points to 0. As Kelly, a dummy half, gave it to Moore. Moore inside to Smith, and a penalty against the Blues. Up inside the 10, and with Bartram on the park, they will more than likely take the kick from fairly close range. It's at a rather acute angle, but pretty close to the uprights, as you can see. Adrian having no hesitation in telling Bartram to kick. This was the offside. And Manson, the arm went straight up.
There are plenty of players offside there for the Blues. In fact, Paul Harrigan was probably the worst offender. But we did see at the other end of the field what Steve Roach was talking about before the match, the second phase play, the ability of the front rowers to offload to support players. He did that very, very well in the lead up to the first try. And Paul Vaughton will be hoping that he will see the same from the likes of Neil Tierney and Craig Smith in the opening 10 or 15 minutes of this match.
David Fairley on the bench there with his North Sydney teammate Matt Sears, and then Aaron Raper with a new coloured hair tonight.
A bit mystified Ray by the headband as well. I think it's going to get in his eyes.
The Great Southern Stand as the backdrop as we look across to Wayne Bartram. No stranger to the Melbourne Cricket Ground. So here he is. Can he reduce this leeway? He's pushed it across the face, but they've done well. The chase on the kick from Coyne in particular was good. So they'll get the football back.
He's pushed that one so badly, I'm not quite sure whether it was a planned move, as an attacking raid for his outside chases. I don't think that was the case, but he missed by a long way.
John Simon's dropout, 45 metres. O'Davis sending Larson back, and Larson is met by Carroll. Put down 31 away from the Blues line then. Bartram into the hands of Tierney, then for Smith, his front row partner, working as a pair. And they're 25 metres away from the New South Wales line as they come around with a second man play. Lamb and another second man play, and then more. The pass goes to ground. Didn't really get a clean shot on it. It was Mark Cohen. And the Blues come away from just outside their own 20-metre line, and Carroll is picked up, and they use his own momentum to drive him into the ground through Smith. Back on the left for Kosev. Kosev trying to fend away from Jason Smith. And he will play it now. 35 out from his own line. 4-0 in favour of New South Wales, with Menzies reaching the 40-metre line. Tuvey looking on his right. Simon is on that side of the ground. He's gone across to the Parramatta utility player for the kick, and it's taken on the full and on the gallop by Robbie O'Davis, who's put down about 5 metres on his own side of the halfway mark. He's playing it back then. And this is Matt Singh without the headgear, who's crossed into New South Wales territory as Queenslanders spread it now through the hands of the back rowers. Moore, and it's with Smith. And Jason will play the ball. In the run-on side tonight, Jason Smith following a couple of good performances, particularly last weekend for Parramatta. Now, away from the dummy half, and Larson's played the ball, and Lamb was there with Aiken looking for an opening, but it's been shut down by Jim Dimmick just outside the 20-metre line. New South Wales end of the park. Lamb off the right foot, high and across, looking for the jump, and the Blues come down with it. But I'll tell you what, he only just had hold of it, Jamie Ainscough.
That was all it took. It is a great take from Ainscough. So often the players, in trying to defuse these bombs, wait for the ball to come down. You'll see Ainscough actually goes up Australian rules fashion above his head. Did a great job, under a lot of pressure there from Coyne.
Jamie Ainscough claiming the mark as the Blues come away from the 30-metre line. There's a problem here. Jason Smith is unable to get back on his feet. Now Bartram has been told to keep them down, and Manson gives the penalty to the Blues, but Jason Smith is being assisted as Bartram gets back into the defence line. This is what happened to Jason. Looks like he's caught the elbow of Harrigan as he went in to make the tackle. Carroll now steers the Blues towards the 40-metre line. Tuvey appealing for a quicker play of the ball or a penalty.
Smith's off. Goddard has come into the game.
Goddard will go into dummy half, and that will turn Bartram into a running forward. This is Muir as the Blues look for their second try. 35 metres out from the line, down the short side with Kosev. Shows it to McGregor, thinks about putting it back on the inside, but the defence is too good. Tuvey then away to the left, Simon with it. The run around is on with Dimmick. Then he steps a couple of more metres down the ground, and Simon will play it 25 metres away from the Queensland line from Menzies. To Dimmick, and Dimmick to the air. It didn't have a lot of forward momentum, and Queensland come down through that spectacular take of Robbie O'Davis. Now it's Billy Moore on his own 20-metre line. Phil Gould joining us in commentary tonight.
Yeah, the most interesting thing for me is the way that New South Wales have really condensed their defence since game one. And that could be a little bit of experience because of the moisture here in Melbourne they expected, but they're virtually daring Queensland to go wide, and as we've seen, they've come up with a couple of mistakes early trying to pass the greasy ball.
This is Smith inside his own 30-metre line. Tierney grits the teeth and charges into the New South Wales forwards of Harrigan, Muir and Tuvey. And then away on the left of the ground for Lamb to show it once, and they've cracked them! Moore is into open space! Oh, Brasher comes across with a beauty!
Oh, but they've bombed it. Two unmarked men on the inside, led by Stuart Kelly. I don't know if he got the call, Billy Moore, but he lost them.
Lamb then puts it out wide. Larson tries to get a desperation pass away. The Blues come up with it through Terry Hill. 7 metres out from their own line.
A marvellous ball from Adrian Lamb to put Billy Moore into the clear. He opens the hole up for him, but have a look at the two outside players. They both come back inside. He looks to the left, and they've gone, disappeared.
So the communication breakdown for Queensland. As Carroll plays it and Tuvey passes it. Dimmick is with it as he crosses the 30. He picks up McGregor. And McGregor will be made to play the ball on the 40-metre line, his own end of the park. to the tackle. Now Carroll joins in, and a front-on tackle required from Goddard to slow him down, enough for Smith to secure that tackle. Simon drifting across, picking up Harrigan, and Harrigan is put away on the 20-metre line. 4 points to nil in favour of the Blues. Is another try coming? Tuvey is inside the 10-metre line. This is the last tackle. Simon's a dummy half. In there is Jim Dimmick. He puts in a little kick, but Robbie O'Davis is there. They force him back into the in-goal. It'll be a line dropout.
Well, they're copping something of a hammering at the moment, Queensland. Paul Vaughton said that he may keep Julian O'Neill out as long as 20 minutes. I think he's needed out there now. O'Davis, he nearly got, well, he did get back into the field of play, but by being upright, it was an easier task for Ainscough and company to take him back into the in-goal area.
Trevor Gilmister, the story on Jason Smith.
Well, mate, he's got a slight concussion, but they expect him to be back shortly. Mate, I think Queensland are better off trying to keep the game simple at this stage, get themselves into the game and get a couple of sets of 6 down their end.
Wayne Bartram will send it back down towards the New South Wales players, where McGuinness, who scored the try, 15 metres back into Queensland territory. Ken McGuinness playing it back for Tuvey, who goes away from dummy half. His running in the second half at Suncorp was something that worried Paul Vaughton. 30-metre line underneath them as they go across it now. Carroll charging up the centre, his head hitting the ground quite heavily, just outside the 20. Tuvey scooping it, Simon giving it, Muir puts it back for Simon, then for Dimmick, and Dimmick has put down a good tackle around the legs by Ben Aiken. On the right of the ground, Harrigan joins in, puts the fend on, but dragging around the legs was Mark Coyne. He scampers back into his defensive position. Simon puts the kick up as they go for it, and Queensland come down with it again. And it's Matt Singh over on the left wing who did well.
Yeah, good on you, Matty Singh. He was worried all week about playing on the wing. It's not his favourite position, and probably that was the thing that was concerning him, the high ball. But he does well here. Tim Brasher and Ken McGuinness, they're no slouches in getting up for the high one, and Matty Singh has diffused a dangerous situation.
Queensland with Larson just beyond the 20-metre line. Most of the activity down Queensland's end of the ground. It's Moore who made the bust off a good pass from Lamb on the 30-metre line for Goddard to go away, for Aiken to put that kick in. Quite a big one too, bouncing well over the head of Brasher, who's 15 metres out from his own line, coming back down the right-hand touchline. That's in front of the Great Southern Stand.
Late kick from Ben Aiken was better than any we saw in the whole first State of Origin match. He didn't worry about trying to do anything fancy but pick up metres. Good torpedo, 50 on the fly.
Muir's been taken high. Penalty goes to New South Wales. The offender is Smith. Craig Smith spoken to by David Manson over this tackle on Adam Muir, and he was draped around the Adams apple. McGuinness a try. Simon failed to convert. And then a penalty shot from Bartram was offline. An open game of football starting to develop, Steve Roach.
Yeah, well, there was a little bit of a complaint in the first game that Terry Hill and McGregor weren't seeing enough of the football, but they are tonight. This has really opened up this one, and both sides really trying to spread the ball early in the tackle count. Harrigan
then charging up the centre, reaching the 20-metre line, and they set up another attacking raid. Queensland have really been under some pressure. Tuvey goes to the blind side looking for Menzies, and in attack a relatively quiet one from him in Brisbane. Now they come away. Simon with a long ball. Dimmick is there, and that's David Fairley who's on for New South Wales, reaching the 10-metre line, playing it back then for Terry Hill, a dummy half. Simon pushing it away out there to his lock forward, then for McGregor. McGregor tries to get it back in. McGuinness was there, so was Brasher and Menzies. And Menzies is put away on tackle number 5. Simon's in position for the kick. Here he goes with the right foot across. The depth is okay, but underneath it is O'Davis. And it'll go back to the 20 for the tap restart.
Yeah, just get the feeling that Paul McGregor's starting to lick his chops out there with the prospect that he's got Stuart Kelly and Matt Singh opposite him, both very short players, and because McGregor's so tall and so good with the ball, he thinks he can take them on and get the ball away at will.
Tierney with a one-hander out for O'Davis, and then across for Mark Coyne, And that's a good run by the Queenslanders. They're down 42 metres out from the Blues line, as Lamb has to leap in the air to take the pass from dummy half. Waits it nicely. Brash is there. Dallas coming down the ground. He beats him. He beats Lamb. He beats another. He gets it away to Ainsko. Ainsko angling across the park. It's in the hands of Koseff. Koseff tries to go through a gap, and he's pulled down 35 away from his own line.
Exciting football from both teams. Adrian Lamb deliberately kicking for Brett Dallas. What a marvellous run there from Tim Brasher to beat a couple and then still find support. Ken McGuinness heads infield. Tackle 44 out from his own line. Fairly on for Muir. Clinton O'Brien for Craig Smith.
Harrigan ramrodding the New South Wales, giving them a nice foundation. Here's Carroll supporting Harrigan in everything he does, and now they take it down to the Queensland 40-metre line. Koseff was the pivot. Simon was the runner. Menzies has finished up with it on tackle number 5. They're 30 metres away from the Queensland line. They're leading by 4-0. The Blues looking to wrap up the Coca-Cola State of Origin right here tonight, and Dallas took that in the field of play. So back he comes, he runs around them, brings it out to the 20-metre line. A good run. Now he's lost it. It's going to be a loose head and feed for the Blues, and this is 20 metres out from the Queensland line.
Yeah, the call coming from the touch judge there was on the other side of the referee. It was all class, Brett Dallas, what he did up to the tackle. And you just wonder where... Oh, there's definitely a hand in there from David Fairley. It should have been a penalty. Julian O'Neill now on for the Maroons.
So Terry Hill stepping off his left foot, tries to angle back. Centre of the park, 22 metres out. And Dean Pay is also on. So Fairley and Pay both out there now for New South Wales. As it goes to Simon, he cuts out Fairley, picks up Dimmick, gives it inside for Menzies. Menzies, very keenly spotted by Queensland. Of course, there's no secret of the fact that Paul Vaughton admires him more than any other attacking footballer in the forwards. Fairley then, putting New South Wales in a very strong position. They'll do well to hold them out, Queensland. Tuvey away for Koseff to go in. Koseff is over the line. The Blues are in again, and they lead 8 points to 0.
A quarter of the game is gone, and looking at the tackle counts, Queensland have been made to do twice as many tackles as their opponents, and eventually it's going to tell, and that will be on the scoreboard. Nick Koseff just getting on the outside there, some tired forwards. This all came about, of course, from Brett Dallas losing the football first tackle. Koseff getting outside Billy Moore. Moore went in, had to come back, couldn't recover in time, and the big fend from Koseff was a good one. But this had been coming for a couple of minutes. So much possession and pressure for the Blues.
Queensland defence really tested there. The respect that they have for Jeff Tuvey's dummy half running game. I mean, he's probably established himself, whilst he's a halfback in his own club, as the best dummy half runner in the game. And you saw that 3 Queensland players there on their own line really angled themselves in towards him, and that allowed him to get the ball on to Nick Koseff, wrong-footed the defence and slide over for a nice try. But Jeff Tuvey's dummy half running, even in the first 20 minutes, certainly has Queensland guessing around the rucks. And that time they just overread the situation. They paid him too much respect.
It's quite amazing, that tackle count. 75 tackles made by Queensland, a mere 36 by New South Wales.
So John Simon will attempt conversion unsuccessfully the first time. This time he hits it much better, and it's straight between the uprights. We'll go to a break with the Blues over the Maroons 10-0.
The following fan cam messages were recorded live on Origin night and will be shown to the Blues before they take the field for Origin 2.
You know you make me wanna... Get it, Blues!
Up the Blues!
The Blues, the Blues!
The Blues! Up the Blues! Go to the Blues! Come on! Stay those toes! New South Wales!
Go to it! Go to it! Mate! One down! Two to go!
Tim Brasher, look after that cute face.
Carroll bringing it away from his own 20-metre line on the second since the restart. And Tuvey then goes over for Fairley and then for Pay. Pay is just outside the 30-metre line. State of Origin 2 from the Melbourne Cricket Ground on the 9 network right across Australia. And going into several overseas countries as well.
Hang on, Nick.
toss here. Metres of the line. He'll play it on the 5th tackle. Away it goes now for Lamb to put it high and across and then be battered down, but McGuinness finished up with it for New South Wales on his own 10-metre line.
It's going to be hard as an attacking option to get Matt Singh up over the top of Ken McGuinness and Paul McGregor on that type of kick. We saw Queensland score a try in an Origin a couple of years ago off grubber kicking on this dewy surface. Tim Brasher spilled the ball, and I think that's probably a little bit of a better play tonight. It's going to be hard to catch these bombs and score tries. Jeremy Schloss is also on, so both the Gold Coast boys are out there at the moment. And the Tuvi it is with a darting run that sees him able to unload. And supporting was Pay, so was Terry Hill. He's the ball carrier, Terry Hill, and he's put down 40 metres away from the Queensland line. 5 gone. Simon is there. They put it through the hands for Dimmick. Dimmick holding it back, draws the defence in. McGregor's with it. McGregor to McGuinness. McGuinness gets it inside for Dimmick. Dimmick's over. Try number 3. The Blues are ripping them apart at the MCG.
Beautiful attacking play there by New South Wales on the last tackle. I do think it was a defensive mistake on the outside by the Queensland winger to come in. Jim Dimmick here, good vision. Picks up McGregor with the long pass. And as we freeze it there, you can see that Matty Singh, he makes the decision to come in on McGregor. I thought that maybe McGregor may have been covered on the inside, but Singh decides to come in. It was one of those options. Julian O'Neill, he got a little bit of a checkered passage, and Jim Dimmick, who really instigated the try with the long cutout pass, did well to stay alive and be there to take the pass back on the inside. The last tackle indeed signalled. They busted them on the other side. Dimmick on to McGregor. He's just having a wow of a game, McGregor. Matty Singh comes in to make the tackle. Julian O'Neill, he just got clipped in running. That stopped him from being able to get across and cover. And Dimmick celebrates along with Tim Brasher. And now it's a real mountain for Queensland to climb.
It certainly is. It might not be an impossibility, but you'd rather be rolling down the other side, wouldn't you? Jim Dimmick methodically put that try together and then finished it off.
Might be a bit harsh there on Matt Singh. It's one of those decisions to come in or stay. I just think by coming in, John Simon unsuccessful with the kick, he just made it a little bit harder for the support players to get across.
This was the try. Watch the part that Dimmick plays. He holds on, and he commits defencemen. And then he's back on the inside, waving to McGuinness, and puts it over the line. Well, as we said earlier in the game, I think Jim Dimmick and John Simon are going to go home with Paul McGregor's voice well entrenched in their right ear there, because he's just desperate for the football. Every time he gets it, he looks dangerous down Queensland's left-hand defence. So David Fairley and then Harrigan, and now it's Adam Muir standing. The ball might have been knocked down by Queensland. Referee Manson says play on. That gives the Maroons a chance, and they take it inside the 20-metre line. Be interesting to see that. I've just got that feeling that it might have been knocked down by the Queensland side, but Manson got a clear call, I think, from his touch judge. It's with Tierney and then Aiken. They string a few passes together, and Larson is underneath that tackle on the far side, and it's a penalty to Queensland.
2 players involved in the tackle. Paul McGregor stripped the football. So the best chance we've seen in the game for Queensland. A couple of sets of 6 at this end of the field.
This is Clinton O'Brien. There's the ball back there for Goddard. Goddard is within a couple of metres of the line, and there's probably not a more appropriate moment to strike back than now. Lamb goes back for Billy Moore again, and that's the 3rd time he's gone looking for Billy Moore. Now away from Coyne for Lamb, then for O'Davis. O'Davis can't free himself from the tackle, but he gets the ball away. Goddard is put down 3 metres out from the New South Wales line, as it's played back for Tierney with the head down, looking to do it himself, and forced to play the ball, held by Big Harrigan and by Menzies. Lamb then again. Aiken across for Moore. Here's Dallas. Oh, he only had to catch it and put it down.
Well, in Brett Dallas's defence, I think he thought that the pass wasn't going to come all the way to him. I think he was looking for Billy Moore to find the man just inside him. It was a good move, spreading the ball. I think Brett Dallas thought that they were going to go through the hands, and it took him by surprise. Coyne was cut out. But again, as we've seen in the first 30 minutes of this game, it's just all coming apart for Queensland at this end of the field.
The big thing about it, Peter, as we said earlier, is that New South Wales are really condensing up in defence and making Queensland push the ball wide. They had great success when Billy Moore came hard and straight onto a pass, but when they throw the ball wide like that, New South Wales have always got them covered, and it's very hard.
This has to go back, and McGuinness has been very safe out there on the right wing tonight. Not only that, he's making a good run back outside the 20. 14-0 as Carroll gets his next touch of the game. That is his 10th hit up in the match, as Jamie Ainscough goes looking for possession and then offloads for Terry Hill, who's met by Jason Smith it is. And Jason appearing okay again after being concussed early in the game. Adam Muir met by Smith and held there by Jason Smith over the top of Craig, and now it's with Harrigan and an offload. Muir comes to the 40-metre line looking to get it away. It's down there for Queensland to take and not held in the tackle. Mark Coyne runs and Billy Moore had it, then it hit him on the head, then he got it back in again, and Moore will play it 39 metres out from the New South Wales line. Played back for Ben Aiken. Now it's O'Davis who seems to be handling the ball a lot tonight from fullback, living up on the back line. Played back for Goddard, and this is Sloss. Wrestled down by the New South Wales back rower Nick Kossev, who picked up one of the 3 tries. Lamb pushing it away. Aiken to the 20-metre line, and then number 17 is Julian O'Neill back for Matt Singh, and Singh is tackled, but another penalty. A penalty to Queensland. And taken by Ben Aiken. Then it's a cross from Goddard, and this is O'Davis, and here's this long pass on the bounce for Brett Dallas, and Dallas is banged down. He's a metre out from the line, and Mark Coyne trying to push away the Blues players as they go on the left of the ground. Smith, and then for Lamb, away then for Aiken. Billy Moore out very wide. Then Matt Singh comes back in and puts it over the line. There's the first try for the Queenslanders. The start of the resurgence. 33rd minute and 14-4.
To be any chance in this game, they had the score before half-time, and they did it well going wide. Just have a look at the angle of the try scorer. As we freeze it there, you can see McGuinness is going across. He's expecting the man to stay on the outside, but all of a sudden, as play continues, Matt Singh surprises him by coming straight. Ran straight into the hole. He was well covered, but his opposite man overread the situation. Billy Moore has been very, very dangerous out wide. And Ben Aiken, they started to play a little bit straighter, and that pass was there. McGuinness, well, his man was gone by the time he'd reacted.
Well, that's exactly the line you want to run. Matty Singh knows this line. He realises they've been sliding across and swallowing them up, but he comes hard and straight back against the sliding defence. And he's only running at arms there, and with the strength and speed, he's able to force his way through. And that and the Billy Moore break earlier in the game were both off the same angle run and should be a wake-up to Queensland. But that's the angle they have to attack this New South Wales defensive line. Not long passes to get around it, but come back hard against the slide.
Just on Matt Singh, Phil, we've grown accustomed to him in the headgear. Missing tonight is some good news that we need to know about.
No, there was never any reason for it. I think he just wore it for the sake of wearing it.
Julian O'Neill then hooking it away, and no addition to the Queensland score. 14-4 then.
I'm just wondering whether Matt Singh could have brought the ball around closer. He runs the try in, and as he goes through McGuinness, he does have a little bit of a look around, but it did take a while for any New South Wales covered defender to appear. I thought that he might have been able to gobble up a few more metres.
And looking at the conversion attempt, it would have been most advantageous. The conversion attempt from O'Neill, unsuccessful. But it has got the Queenslanders on the board, and that's what they needed to do more than anything. 14-4. The restart sees Coyne putting Craig Smith back to the 30-metre line. Half-time is just under 4 minutes away. And this is Clinton O'Brien reaching the 40-metre line with Kossev over the top of Carroll. then from Goddard for Lamb, and on the left of the ground Jason Smith, and then put down by Ben Eichen. And referee David Manson will rule a knock-on took place, and New South Wales will get an opportunity just in front of half-time.
It was a nice reply by Matt Singh over on the left-hand side there for the try. They've been given an awful time by Paul McGregor and Ken McGuinness, so he'll just tick that one as one to get back at them. And Queensland tensioning their arms straight away. Important set of 6 in defence here. They don't want to concede one before half-time and destroy the advantage they got of that try. They've got the ball. That's a beauty.
Robbie O'Davis has got himself between Jim Dimmick and Tim Brasher, and that is very important possession with the ball played by Jeremy Sloss.
He's in rare form, isn't he, Robbie O'Davis? It was an Australian side pick tonight. Both he and Brasher would have to be in it. Queensland now getting some momentum.
Sloss is tackled. He's about 28 metres away from the New South Wales line, and half-time a couple of minutes away for Clinton O'Brien to get a one-hander out the back. Good work by him. Goddard's pass has gone on through 2 sets of hands for Adrian Lamb. The ball comes loose. They still go for it. That's Ben Eichen. He's 2 metres out from the line.
Numbers to the right.
Jason Smith then. Away on the right. It's with Lamb. Lamb comes across and he puts O'Davis over. O'Davis is over. Queensland are in for another. 14 points to 8.
They'll never write them off. And Adrian Lamb, once he starts running to the line and drawing defenders, anything can happen. New South Wales starting to get a little bit carefree with some passing. We saw a flick pass from Adam Muir earlier. Jim Dimmick just trying to offload too much. Adrian Lamb, he runs across. He opens the gap up, and again, it was the angle of the run from Robbie O'Davis. Terry Hill desperately wanted to stay out. The number 4 jersey, there he is. He wants to stay out on his man. And again, as was the case with McGuinness on the other side, he's pointing for the players on the inside to come up with the tackle on O'Davis. It was big man on little man. Paul Harrigan couldn't hang on to O'Davis. And all of a sudden, we've got a ball game.
With Adrian Lamb, just to show his face when he delivers that ball.
Well, nobody deserved to try more than Robbie O'Davis. Look at this diminutive Newcastle, Queensland full-back. And I'm just looking at some of the stats here to find out how many times he's had the ball in his hands. It must be certainly up near double figures. As Julian O'Neill looking for the extras and gets them. A further 2 points to Queensland and 14 points to 10. This was the try on another camera from behind that dead ball line.
For all the kids watching at home, if you want to be a ball player, that's exactly the way to do it. Hold the ball out in 2 hands. Straight away, you put the defence back on their heels, and that will open up holes. And there's not too many better players in the game than Adrian Lamb able to do that.
He knew exactly what he was doing. 40 seconds left on the clock. Who do you think is going to have their heads off and trot off into the dressing room pumped up? Queensland have come back at exactly the right time, and again, you can't deny them.
What is it, Trevor? I mean, the ability to get off the floor and come back. It's just incredible.
Well, we love you blokes bagging us. That's what it's all about. But Queensland had plenty of field position, and finally, you know, they've decided to hang on the ball for a little while. Then they went wide and obviously scored. But sometimes when they go wide too early, they get themselves into trouble.
So Ben Eichen has put that ball down into vacant space. It stays there before Brasher arrives. Coyne came from an onside position, apparently. And there's the halftime siren in the background. So we're going to half-time with a ball game back on the menu. It was looking bleak, wasn't it? For Queensland, New South Wales led 14 points to 0, and Queensland, in the last 7 minutes coming up to the break, are back to 14 to 10. The Melbourne Cricket Ground around Australia will be back as Ken and Peter look at the first half in retrospect on the other side of this.
Here's the answer to this hour's Frequent Viewer Club question. Keep watching NBN to earn your viewer points. Remember, the more you watch, the more points you earn. The more points you earn, the more awards you can receive.
With a family, you may find that private health insurance won't fit your budget. So you can't cover everyone for dental, orthodontic, physio, chiro and pharmacy. Now HCF Family Care covers all this, plus 100% hospital, ambulance and accident cover. And it's not expensive. So it'll fit your family and your budget. For HCF Family Care, call 13 14 39 and don't settle for less.
Breast cancer is a devastating illness that really impacts on everyone in the community. We were pleasantly surprised and eventually quite delighted when the Newcastle Perm actually approached us and said they'd like to find a way to help us.
We're always on the lookout for something that we feel suits what the society is trying to achieve with the community.
It led to the establishment of our new programs and ways of informing the community about the importance of research and treatment and screening.
It can actually make a difference to their lives.
We'd always been concerned about education. We didn't have the resources to do very much about it, and now we're able to do that.
But it's always good to come up with something that you know reaches a large number of people.
I hope other businesses will follow the lead that the Perm has demonstrated.
I thought I'd walk out to the showroom while the boys loaded the truck. They had so much stock out the back, all the plumbing gear you could want. I even met an old mate from school. He's been shopping here for years. But the best part of all was when I got out to the showroom and had a look around. These guys really cared.
It's all that boots, plumbing supplies. You can trust they care.
It's out now! Tool Specialist giant 96-page catalogue jam-packed full of bargains. Purchase any item from the catalogue and you could win thousands and thousands of dollars of tools and prizes. Come in and pick up your copy now. Tool Specialist, one address only, 53 Maitland Road, Sandgate.
If you qualify for the new health insurance incentives, join HCF Family Care by June 27 and you'll also get instant cover on items you'd normally wait up to 6 months for. Call 13 14 39 and join HCF now.
It's a public relations disaster.
It was the lamb's fault!
Will she ever shake it?
One more senseless lamb attack.
And romance.
That's the outfit that says your place or right here.
On Sybil.
That's sick. Duh!
Friday, 8:30 on NBN.
Back at the MCG, it's half-time in the State of Origin for 1997, Game 2. And what a thriller we've got on our hands. New South Wales in front, 14 points to 10. Peter Sterling, does the tail of the tape tell the story of what's happened in the first half?
To a certain degree it does.
More methodical about the business they were going about. And Trevor Gilmeister said it, that they tried too much too early, Queensland.
Well, they were going wide, and that was obviously in their game plan, but they were probably doing it too early, as Trevor pointed out, or at the wrong time. As we've seen late in the first half, when they did develop numbers out wide, they had a lot of success, especially with Billy Moore scouting out there, and they've been able to put on a couple of tries and get back into this game.
Paul McGregor's had a whale of a game. He looks as if he could do anything tonight. I mean, he's running well and he's passing well. He's always dangerous when he's carrying the ball. And, of course, this is the first try for New South Wales. Game was only a couple of minutes old.
Stuart Kelly was found out early in this match, really found out what the step-up is from club football to State of Origin. He dropped an early ball. He'd had Paul McGregor run over him. He was looking for some recovery, so he dropped in back behind the line, and that was all New South Wales needed. McGregor and Ken McGuinness combined to put on the first try, and it was just one of those simple instances where one player didn't deem it important enough to be in the front line.
And the Kosef try was just so methodical. It was like, this is what we expect to do, and they just counted the numbers and away they went.
It came from pressure, Ken. They'd had so much possession down there that in the end it was probably going to be a soft try. Don't forget that Billy Moore actually bombed a try by not being able to find one of his support players in between New South Wales' first and second try. That gave the Blues a lot of momentum down this end of the field, and with the amount of football that they were enjoying at that stage, they were always going to run a try in.
In fact, Queensland bombed 2 tries, so who knows what the score might have been, but might-have-beens don't matter in State of Origin. Let's take a look at the next try, and of course this is set up by Dimmick and scored by Dimmick.
A good option by New South Wales to run the football on the last tackle, and it comes down to the vision of Jim Dimmick to see Paul McGregor in space out wide. Paul McGregor drew a couple of players. Ken McGuinness, who'd had a fine game up to that stage, was able to find Jim Dimmick backing up again on the inside. perfectly executed and probably very, very difficult for Queensland to stop in the end.
And it was 14 blot and looked like all sorts of trouble for Queensland.
Series was gone.
Yeah, I thought they were out of it. And Matt Singh had relatively unhappy game until this particular point late in the first half. And boy, oh boy, he scored a try that they so badly needed, Queensland.
Well, a lot of the action was finding its way towards Matt Singh, and he was handling it quite well. But I'm sure that he'll get great satisfaction out of getting the first 4-pointer for his side. And again, there we see Billy Moore, some angled runners. And as I pointed out earlier, the angle of Matt Singh to come back in and catch his wingman by surprise was class play. Matt Singh is a quality player, and we've seen that at State of Origin level before.
Pete, you made the point he may have come around a little bit further, but I think he was off balance when he scored the try. He was running for it, he had the nose down, but a couple of metres extra would have made it a much easier conversion, obviously, for Julian O'Neill, which didn't happen, which they badly needed. But they had the breaks going their way at that particular point in time, and this is the try that really set up the series once again. Let's take a look at O. Davis, who's had a great game.
I think Queensland were aided late in the first half by some drop ball from New South Wales, and Adrian Lamb just starting to orchestrate things. Robbie O'Davis, who to me has been Queensland's best player out there tonight. Ray Warren pointed out that he was living in the back line. He's just one of the players who's hungry for the football. He wants to be where the action is, and those kind of players you always find have an impact on the match. O'Davis onto Adrian Lamb. I don't think it'll be the last time we see that combination in this game.
Well, Paul Fortin was probably saying to Adrian, now listen, you had him in two minds there. Do that in the whole second 40 minutes and we might get a few more tries on the board. As you rightly point out, it does put players in two minds, doesn't it?
Queensland have every right to be very confident going into this second 40 minutes because I don't think they can play any worse than we saw in the first half. So to be within 4 points of New South Wales, Paul Fortin will play on that. He'll be saying, look, we can play a lot better than we have done in that first 40 minutes. Go out there, enjoy it. The series is at stake here. No second chance for us. Get the job done.
Yeah, you're right about that. When you play badly and you're still in the hunt, it does give you a lot of confidence. OK, we'll be back right after the break.
Experience the madness of Jim Carrey.
Nobody's going to the bathroom during this one.
The making of Liar Liar tonight.
Did you know that plaque is actually caused by the build-up of germs?
So how do you prevent plaque? Listerine. It's dynamite against germs.
Hey, Wiz, hang on. What are you getting up to? I'm getting up to 40% off these jeans and trousers. Really? These jeans were $25. Slashed to $15 in the huge winter sale at Lowe's. Up to 20% off activewear. Jerseys USA track pants, not $30. $24. 20 to 35% off all shoes. Pro Sport and Dunlop joggers were $25. Slashed to $15.99. All this and plenty more in the huge winter sale at Lowe's. Show me more.
They've lifted the bar another level.
And that chock full of cheeseburgers I'm about to bust.
After that Bill Lorry scene,
Love me true.
they can do anything.
I want you back.
What will they pull off next? Find out 9:30 Thursday on The Footy Show, here on NBN. Kerry Show, Tuesdays on NBN.
Everybody's talking about the NBN Frequent Viewer Club. If you've been watching regularly, you could be getting close to having enough points to enter our sweepstakes contest. Aside from earning great rewards, certain points levels allow you to enter.
You might be getting close to this prize entry level, or if you're a frequent viewer, you may be getting to this prize entry level.
If you reach 6,000 points, you'll be able to enter the major prize draw for a new Mazda 121 Metro 5-door hatch. Only those who reach 6,000 points will have the chance to win it.
NBN Television, your frequent viewer network.
And back at the Melbourne Cricket Ground, thank you for joining us wherever you are, right across Australia, as we come to the second half of the Coca-Cola State of Origin, number 2. And what looked like it was going to be a landslide victory for New South Wales has seen Tom Raudonikis become quite intense and I would imagine quite concerned at this Queensland comeback. 14 points to 10 then. We come down to the second 40 minutes and Jeff Tuvey is on his way back, hoping to resume like they did in the first half when McGuinness was in after 3 minutes. Whenever I see Billy Moore coming up out of the tunnel, I just hesitate, but he's not giving us the Queenslander tonight. Kosef at the 21st, Dimmick at the 26th. Simon got 1 from 3. Queensland seeing at the 34th, O'Davis at the 38th. They started their resurgence late in the first half. And we've got a ball game. 14 to 10. The forwards were great. None more busier than Mark Carroll.
They've been great again, Mark Carroll and Paul Harrigan. Workaholics, featuring in both the tackles and the hit-ups. Kosef has played well, apart from scoring the try. Really, they've been well served by all of their forwards. They've spread things around fairly evenly. Quite surprised Dean Pay probably hasn't got more game time tonight. Billy Moore has been marvellous. Despite the fact he's scouting out wide, he still leads the tackle count. That's no surprise, along with Gary.
In a calm mood because I expect to win and win comfortably. It hasn't been that comfortable so far. Will he be proven right as we go into the second stanza? And Dimmick, one of the New South Wales try scorers, playing the ball. First set of 6 in the new half, and the breeze fractionally behind New South Wales for this second 40 minutes as Carroll plays it on the second. Tuvey runs a few paces, links up with Harrigan, and Harrigan has put down 37 metres away from his line. Tuvey keeps it going on the left of the ground for Kosef this time. Kosef able to unload. Tuvey comes back, looking for runners on his right. They were going the other way, Brasher in particular. He's a dummy half as they go left for Carroll now to complete the tackle count on this one. They're just 7 or 8 metres into Queensland's area, trailing by 4 points, the Maroons. The kick is up and coming back down in the in goal for Dallas, who'll have to bring it back. He's got some work to do. He's got the pace on his side. Can he make it? Can he make it? Yes, he can. Dallas gets it back for the Maroons. O'Davis is there to bring it away.
Every right to get an ovation from the bench there too, Brett Dallas. It looked as though he had too much work to do. I had a question mark on the chasers for New South Wales. But those kind of little incidents in a match can change the course of a game.
This is Clinton O'Brien. Back. They came off the feet of the dummy half. No knock on. Lamb then. Away for Jason Smith to give it back for Lamb. And he's been in everything, Adrian Lamb, tonight.
Yeah, I think it's a very important 40 minutes in the career of Adrian Lamb. He must know, with all due respect to his teammates, the Queensland State of Origin prospects rely on him. He really has to get into the game. He knows that he's the one that's going to have to execute the plays, and I really believe he's up to it at this stage.
So New South Wales coming away off their own 20-metre line. This is Ken McGuinness, who was over the line for a sensational try 3 minutes into the game. He thought all his birthdays had come at once, and he's only had, I think, 21 of them. Now Tuvey approaching the halfway line. Kosef with a short ball. Muir was there to support, and then Tuvey likewise before Simon. And Simon is there and pulled down. Trevor Gilmister on the sideline. What can you tell us from the Queensland sheds?
Well, Fatty said, as we said earlier, not to go too wide too early. Make the yards first and then go wide. And I suppose the worst thing for Queensland was the half-time break, because they were all over him towards the end of that first half.
Now we've got a problem with Jim Dimmick as O'Davis again came out of that exchange on top, and this is O'Neill flirting with the sideline. He's submitted. and plays it on the 30-metre line.
I think that's an important substitution for Queensland. Julian O'Neill going to left centre. Stuart Kelly was in awful trouble against Paul McGregor, and Julian O'Neill, being a named player, will just put Paul McGregor on notice.
On the 40-metre line. And this is O'Brien. Met by Kosseff. One-on-one. Head-on. Good stuff. Then from Goddard. Into the hands. And then onto the boot of Ben Ikin. And he kicks on the far side of the ground. Turning Brasher around. Did well in the deep, Brasher. And then confronted by the flankers for the Maroons. And they're back inside their own 20-metre line, the New South Wales side, with Ainsko coming away. Steve Roach, what about the New South Wales shed?
Well, Tommy Rudonikas reminded the New South Welshmen that the Queenslanders will not lay down. He said their defence out wide is pretty ordinary. You've got to keep going there with numbers. They've had to do a lot of tackles too, so expect Jeff Tuvey to run a lot more from dummy half. He said don't fall into the trap of trying to force the footy early in the tackle count. That was their biggest problem in the last 10 minutes of the first half.
Well, you just saw two big men come together, Harrigan and Larson. Larson has gone limping away from making the head-on tackle. The last now for the Blues, and Simon puts it out on the full. That'll give the Queenslanders a good shot at them.
Jim Dimmick leaves the field, and Matt Sears, the utility player from North Sydney, gets some game time now in a reshuffling in the New South Wales lineup as Queensland through Jamie Goddard take it over the 40-metre line, centre field.
That offload, there's Clinton O'Brien hobbling away. I think Gary Larson would like to have done the same, but they can ill afford to be without him. And even in the pain from that injury I described, he was able to get that ball away for Goddard. Now Lamb, and Lamb sets himself to turn it back on the inside, something that Phil Gould thinks they've got to do more of. Jason Smith playing it, Goddard sweeping it, Lamb running it straight ahead and pulled down there in a confrontation with Brasher. The Queensland side is 10 metres away from the line as Jason Smith gets a floating pass away for Dallas. He's over! Dallas is in! Thornton goes up, the Queenslanders go up, and it's 14 all.
All the redheads are up. Jason Smith, a good ball out to Brett Dallas, but he's got to do it all himself, Dallas. What about the in and out? Totally bamboozled his opposite man. Marvellous work. Adrian Lamb, he just reminded the defence that he can run the football. He doesn't have to pass it. And now as Jamie Ainsko comes up, Brett Dallas, so strong, such good evasion, he puts one on his opposite man. Jason Smith, he was concussed in the first half. That's a plus for Vaughton that he can come back out and play some sort of role in the remainder of the game. But Brett Dallas, he was given the ball in a pressure situation and he's come up trumps.
Yeah, the key for this is the fact that Queensland now carry two ball players in their side. Adrian Lamb, New South Wales, he turned the ball inside on one play, ran it forward very quickly on the next play, and the relaxation in the New South Wales defence says, well, right, we've put paid to him. Suddenly Jason Smith bobs up on the short side. The defence is caught napping, and that's the beauty of having ball players in your team. It's not necessarily the key man that's going to do it, but he can create the space and the time and the field position for the next man to take over. And Jason Smith put the ball in the hands of probably the quickest and most dangerous player on the field. He did the rest. And Julian O'Neill, what a season it's been for him. He gets the chance to sneak the Queenslanders in front.
What are the odds, Rabbi?
From there?
From there, mate.
For Julian. He's very unpredictable.
Yes, you're right.
Mate, I'll bet you 6-4 if you want it. Here he is from near the touchline. He's way offline. You can have 5-2 now. Let's take a break. Look at this one. 14 points all from the Melbourne Cricket Ground.
Weather update is brought to you by Radiant Laundry Concentrate.
Good evening. Another cold night inland, but dry tomorrow. Some rain likely later on Friday. A look at our synoptic chart this afternoon. With high pressure still over New South Wales, conditions still reasonably stable, but we'll have freshening northwesterly winds, increasing cloud during Friday, and some rain likely later in the day. The forecast for tomorrow, dry but cloudy. Newcastle's top 21 degrees, Scone 20, and about the same on Friday.
The world's dumbest criminals, soon on NBN.
The game, and I think
14 points all. Yes, Phil, you were saying. Just inside the touchline, McGregor's tackle, pulling Ben Ikin down. We'll stay with it, Phil. We'll come back to you as Tierney crosses the 40-metre line. Now, Goddard coming back down the left of the ground. They've got a smell of success in their nostrils as Billy Moore is pulled down. 28 metres away from the line. Aiken, and there's the kick across the ground, and no pressure, it appeared, out there as Ainsko pulls it down. Chase just didn't arrive quickly enough, which makes me ask the question whether the communication was there from Aiken to those outside three-quarters.
Well, we'll get something from the bench, I'm sure, from Steve Roach or Trevor Gilmister, but Adrian Lamb has left the field. Stuart Kelly is back into the game.
Steve Roach, just on Jim Dimmick, what's the story there?
Yeah, it's a strained medial ligament, but he'll be back. They're strapping up now, and Adrian Lamb's probably going into the shed now for a needle. He's got a crook ankle.
There's the running repairs for Jim Dimmick, I think it was, as the last tackle sees the Blues put in a towering kick. Now Matt Singh and Robbie O'Davis bringing it back. Matt Sears was one. Oh, that's a very good tackle. Adam Muir. Tremendous tackle. Now, just inside their own 30-metre line, Billy Moore chiming in. There's a lot of work to be done. O'Davis is not well. O'Davis is sick for the Queenslanders now. Now a penalty. Oh, gee, they needed it.
It's a pretty good run there. Really ate up the metres quickly, did Craig Smith, and he caught Paul McGregor out. A disdainful look to the referee from the big Illawarra centre. Ben Aiken, he comes up with a very good kick with little angle to work with.
Look at that penalty count. Does Queensland come away with 6 tackles if they want them?
O'Davis is crook, all right. He's just come up and got the ball as soon as possible.
Well, let me tell you, the O'Davis I was looking at 1 minute ago was very sick and sorry. Now Jason Smith decides to go himself. And there's a knock on, so the pressure valve comes off the Blues. 14 points all. 50 minutes of the game gone. No need for Jason to contemplate running it himself at the moment. He's the man that can spark something in the absence of Adrian Lamb. O'Davis playing at half-back now. So Sears can run 100 metres and score a try. Can make a try out of nothing. Kosef is put away. 25 metres away from his own line. 14 points all in State of Origin 2. As Adam Muir bangs it ahead and the penalty goes against the Queenslanders.
Bang, here it is. It's not up there, it's here.
Inside the 10, says David Manson. What an incredible turnaround. We were getting the slippers ready. Heading for the nuptial couch at 14-0.
Well, New South Wales have got to stem the tide here. They haven't had much field position early in the game. In the last 25 minutes of the game, Queensland have hammered their way back into it. And New South Wales, who are going along free and easy, throwing the ball from side to side, now find themselves with a line in the sand drawn. 14-all with 28 minutes to go. They've really got to settle down and control the ball for a while and get some field position.
Nick Kosef will play it. 35 metres away from the Maroons line. From Simon, they go for Menzies out wider. And we haven't seen a lot of Steve Menzies with freedom. Now Brashow tries to hurt them. Terry Hill is tackled 20 metres away from the Queensland line. Now with McGregor. Oh, he loses it. And then Simon appears to... Oh, he said play on! He said play on!
Tackle.
What a tackle that was! It was Stuart Kelly! Now, Simon! They're waving on the right of the ground! McGregor! McGregor! I don't think he's got it down! He's held up in goal!
Well, I'm still amazed at the decision by the referee to call play on. I just thought it was a double knock on. McGregor, well, I guess that one's gone back in the referee's mind. Have a look at Stuart Kelly on Matt Sears. It's a corker. And this isn't far behind it either. Queensland, all hands on deck. 4 players.
Tremendous effort there by Matty Singh on the bigger man, McGregor. He gave him plenty of trouble in the first half offloading the ball. He's come up with an absolute perler there to not only stop McGregor scoring the try, but lock it up and hold him up in the in goal.
Ben Eichen gets some attention. He gets back into combat. Let me go straight back to the knock-ons. You heard the inflection in my voice. Peter was amazed, but David Manson got them both right. Now, near the halfway line, we're on 5 for the Maroons. They need field position, and Eichen gets a kick in, and it's going to fine touch just outside the Blues' 20-metre line.
Yeah, good work from Benny Eichen. That'll just slow the game down, give his side a chance to take a breather before having to come up with a set of 6 defence. Queensland just a little bit disorganised, not only at attack because Adrian Lam has left the field, but in defence he was doing so much talking behind the line, and Robbie O'Davis has got to take up that slack now. He's really got to organise his forwards into position. Paul Borton going for the water.
Trevor Gilmister, Matt Singh, his defence, a bit of deja vu.
Yeah, certainly, Ray. He held up about 3 or 4 tries in the 95 series. He's having a great game, and along with Robbie O'Davis, as we said before.
Oh, look at this. Tuvey was away, and then Billy Moore grabbed him by the shirt collar, held him down too long, and the penalty goes to the Blues.
Yeah, right from the scrum base, and this is where Queensland have got to be alert without Adrian Lam on the field. Robbie O'Davis there caught napping, Billy Moore in the scrum. The communication in the scrum and around the rucks has got to be even more intense without Adrian Lam there to organise them.
Wayne Bartram about to come back into the game for the Queenslanders. 32 metres away from their line, the Blues again launching an attack. Menzies, 14 points all. 55th minute of the game as Tuvey sweeps it on the left. Simon away. Fairley then back for Simon. As Fairley gets poleaxed, it comes back to Sears. Sears for McGregor. McGregor runs into Schloss it is, and he's put down. They're 29 metres out in the centre of the ground. The Melbourne Cricket Ground hosting State of Origin 2. That looked like a knock-on from the Blues. Manson said play on, and they are with it now, 29 metres out from the line. From Tuvey for Simon, who angles across. He's very strong and can unload. Tackle number 5. Will they go to the air? No, Brasher, yes he does. Brasher came into the line, put the kick in, and then it was batted back into the field of play by McGuinness. And it's with Ben Eichen. I just had a question mark on McGuinness, where in fact he was. Was he in the field of play when he batted that ball back? Or did he leave the field of play to do it? Here's Coyne now. 17 metres away from his line as Harrigan goes to the bench, and Dallas will come away from dummy half. Talking about players running 100 yards, Dallas is just the sort of person to do that. And that was an excellent run. Now they put another one behind it. Goddard is tackled. 42 metres away from their own line at 14 points all. From Moore, away for Bartram. Bartram for Eichen. That's a forward pass. It was allowed to go as Kelly plays the ball just into Blues territory on the last. And Ben Eichen's kick is high, coming down to McGuinness. Oh, McGuinness has lost it, and Queensland will get it back.
Did have a little bit of a look there, Ken McGuinness. The game's starting to warm up now, both sides knowing what's at stake here. It was a good option. McGuinness just took his eyes off the football. The attention of Singh was enough for him to do that. Now a good deep back line set from this scrum for the Queenslanders. O'Davis feeds and Lamb has left the shed. He'll come back into the game shortly.
Keep an eye on Adrian Lam, Trevor. I think most Queensland supporters are wondering when he'll be back, the number 7 and captain. 23 metres out from the line. Can they score without him? Billy Moore lays on a short ball. The number 14 is Bartram. He'll play the ball back for Goddard. Goddard finds a running Neil Tierney. Tierney hit the brick wall. He's put down. That was a very good tackle by Dean Pay and Steve Menzies. Now O'Davis takes on the role of first receiver. Eichen goes across the park. That's Julian O'Neill. Oh my goodness, I thought he was going to go all the way. A metre from the line, Queensland with the dummy half pulled down. 5 tackles gone for them now. O'Neill sweeps it away. Aiken goes to the air. It's not such a bad kick. McGuinness tested, and it'll go back to the 20-metre line for the restart.
No, it was too deep. Benny Aiken, he was under pressure, but he gave Ken McGuinness an easier catch at the football than he should have. O'Neill, he nearly slid straight through the centres.
I thought he was home, Julian O'Neill. Setting some kind of a record in rugby league tonight. And I see the number 7 getting ready, Steve Roach, to come back.
Yeah, it won't be long before he's back, but Julian O'Neill doing a magnificent job at fullback. He's moved back there. He's yelling himself hoarse. His experience will be invaluable in this second part of the second half.
45 metres out from the Queensland line then. The Blues are trying to wrap it up here tonight. They won by 8 points to 6 at Suncorp. It's 14 points all here. Will the rubber be alive at the Sydney Football Stadium in a fortnight? As John Simon's kick goes down to the try line for O'Davis to bring it back. And met and pulled down there by Menzies. No, it wasn't. It was, in fact, the 17, Matt Sears. Now, Matt Sears ran into the shoulder of Carroll, got the pass away. I don't know how, because the bells were ringing, and this is Larson, 30 metres out from his own line. Now Bartram, and unloading for Clinton O'Brien. He's done some good things when he's been out there, O'Brien. And then Goddard picking up Lamb, who's back on, finds more bumps away from one, then unloads for Bartram for Lamb back for Bartram away, and oh gee, that was good work there by Jeremy Sloss. Almost gave possession back. A touch of the Houdinis in Sloss there. 40-metre line, New South Wales' end, and here's the last tackle as Aiken puts it up in the air. Brasher's underneath it, and Brasher comes away off his own 10-metre line, crosses the 20, and New South Wales then with 5 tackles, and it's Ainscough crossing the 30-metre line. Both Ainscough and Brasher ran a long way before finding the defence. Now Dean Pay. Now it's David Fairley, correction, on the 40-metre line. Forced back by the defence. Manson says let him play it. Tuvey. He's picked off by Mark Coy at marker.
Now's the time in the first game that Jeff Tuvey started to really make a dent from the dummy half position with his running. Queensland must be awake to that. They must be very strong around the marker area. Last tackle now, John Simon drives it down. Davis and Dallas drop back. Brett Dallas will pick up.
He probably couldn't kick it to a more dangerous player in he's lost the ball. Matt Sears takes it through on the boot. Matt Singh is there to clean it up. That could have been pulled down the curtain.
This will be a line dropout. It looked as though Matt Sears on Brett Dallas, one-on-one, had every right to take this football. In fact, it's John Simon who gets the play, falls out. Sears puts it on the boot. Matt Singh got in his road and took no chances at the end. He batted it over the dead ball line. A close thing.
I think he probably would have had to call a knock-on John Simon anyway.
Well, Matt Sears was offside if John Simon stripped the ball away from him. Matt Sears was in front of him.
Why not a penalty then?
Tremendous work by Matt Singh. I mean, Matt Sears is no slouch in the speed department, and Matt Singh realised the situation, got back there. This is a very, very important set of 6 in defence for Queensland.
So Bartram's drop kick into a slight breeze, just going 42 metres, and Harrigan, he goes charging back at Clinton O'Brien and young Goddard. Now it's with Dean Pay. Tries to get the pass around the corner. They shut him down. He's 20 metres out, and here comes Kosef again. Kosef, 18 metres away from the line, playing it back for Tuvey. Now for Simon. Simon lets the decoy go before picking up Brasher. Menzies loses it. Queensland have got it.
Yeah, the New South Wales attack is stymied a little bit with Jim Dimmick's removal from the field. It's really up to Nick Kosef to eliminate himself from a forward role and get himself to second receiver and play a little bit of ball playing on the edge of the ruck. McGregor hasn't touched the ball since Jim Dimmick left the field.
62nd minute. Are you thinking of drop goal?
I'm starting to think drop goal, Ray. I think the next scorer in this game will win, whether it's 1 or 6. I love it. This is State of Origin now. This 62 minutes gone, 14 all, a series coming down. This is where we'll find the champions in the game, the players who can lift above the elite.
Clinton O'Brien underneath Tuvi's tackle, playing it back for Goddard to sweep it away. Jason Smith. You'd almost... I was about to say you'd almost bet long odds on that he'd try and touch, and he has, but just for a moment, Tim Brasher had to cover it, had to shadow it.
I do think Queensland needed this too, Ray. We saw Ben Ikin find touch earlier when they needed a break, and again, I think the Maroons, this breather as the scrum takes a while to be set. It's exactly what the doctor ordered.
Adrian Lamb, he's been back now for about 5 minutes. Just on one passage there, I was wondering whether he had much freedom in that ankle. Clinton O'Brien's got a problem, that hamstring or thigh muscle heavily strapped. I doubt that we'll see him again.
Ray, I've got to give the coach a rap at this stage, Fatty Vaughton. He's handled his interchange on the big men extremely well. Clinton O'Brien's inhibited with injury. He's got big men in Tierney and Smith who are really floundering at the pace of this game, but the quick interchange is keeping them in it. And Paul Vaughton's doing he's doing everything he can for Queensland from the sideline.
Kosef tries to make a break down the short side. Some of these tackle counts are really getting high. Billy Moore has made 24 tackles as Tuvi appeals for what he thought might have been a dangerous tackle. They try and go down the blind side again. Now McGregor goes back before going forward. Picks up Muir. Muir able to unload the ball. Sears from a standing start is pulled down, and he'll be made to play the ball on 5. About 45 metres away from the Queensland line. Simon then. McGuinness on a run down the right flank. His kick is being covered by O'Davis, who takes it over the dead ball line.
Oh, tremendous ground there by Robbie O'Davis. He could have taken the odds to going out over the dead ball line, but he realised catching it on the full would also get them the 20-metre tap, and he really made some ground up quick. Simon on to McGuinness. McGuinness with the kick over the top. Will I wait to see it bounce? No. He stretches out, makes his ground, and backs his ability to come up with the catch.
Yeah, you're quite right. It was great foresight. 1, he had to be sure he was in the in goal. 2, he had to be sure the referee would rule that way. So he took the only available option, and that was to take it, I suppose, over the dead ball line and make a good thing of it. Played there by Wayne Bartram, and then away for Billy Moore, out wide. And, he's had the ball taken from him. So it's John Simon. It's the second time John has come up with possession off Queensland in the last 5 minutes, and quite legitimately. Menzies held on the 40-metre line. Kosef, and now for Dean Payne, and he's pulled down by Billy Moore in combination there with Jeremy Schloss and Craig Smith, then Simon, now McGregor. Adam Muir held around the legs, got the ball away. Simon on, Sears is with it, and Matt Sears will play the ball 25 metres out, centre of the ground. Tuvi to the left, long ball for Kosef. Then a cutout pass on Harrigan. Menzies able to offload. Kosef wasn't expecting it. Lots of parts across. 6 more tackles, said the referee. Now it's double pressure for Queensland. Brasher will play the ball 12 metres out from the line. Tuvi from dummy half, and he's most dangerous. Then McGregor. McGuinness, he's begging him to come in. McGregor goes to ground 9 metres away from the line. Tuvi looking, and then offloading for Muir to take it towards the centre. Are they going to set John Simon up? He's right behind the play the ball. Tuvi.
I think they know a try's on, Ray.
Oh, it's been put down by Harrigan. So Queensland have weathered the storm.
I really felt that they were building up to a 4-pointer there, Ray, with the fact that they got another set of 6. Fatigue now starting to play its role in this match, and Paul Harrigan coming back inside from Dean Pay. He too had a look.
I think that was intelligent play from Jason Smith too. Harrigan knocked that ball on. Jason Smith could have fallen on it and secured possession for his team, but they were out on their feet. He said, I'll let them have it, we'll take the scrum, have a rest, and then get a more constructive play out.
14 points all, 13 minutes to go. So we're at the Devils' number, and I don't recall a draw in State of Origin football. Can't recall a draw in State of Origin football. This is Tierney now. Why haven't we seen Aaron Raper? Does anybody know? Hold the phone blocker! Hold everything! Queensland down under the 35-metre line. Goddard. And now for Lamb. They punch back on the blind. Coyne is there. Coyne is upended. 25 metres away from the New South Wales line. Then away from Lamb into O'Davis, and then high for Aiken, and equally high for Smith. Now it's with O'Neill, and he'll be forced to play the ball. 19 metres away from the New South Wales line. Playing it back on the last tackle for Jason Smith, and he tries to, well, he actually couldn't get his kick in. He passed the ball, and O'Neill was left with the job. He couldn't get it away, and it's a disenchanted Queensland coach. Now, Steve Roach, Aaron Raper, what's the story there?
Yeah, well, Phil Gould was talking about the Queensland bench. The New South Wales side really restricted to only 2 replacements because of Jim Dimmick's injury at the moment, and there's only a place at hooker for him, and at the moment Jeff Tuvey's filling that role.
All right, well, this is Dean Payno, who takes it to the 40-metre line. Tuvey now starting to take the harness off, starting to run like he did late in the match at Suncorp. Simon, Fairley, across the ground. Sears held by the back of the jumper. Fairley there to support a second time. McGregor, then McGuinness, and McGuinness is pulled down by Matt Singh. Last tackle again, 25 out. And Simon goes for the drop goal. It's wide, isn't it? He's got the hand up. He's given it.
He's got it.
David Manson said fair goal. 15 to 14. New South Wales in front as we go to a break.
The Rats go out of town
You don't know what you're dealing with.
to investigate a crime of unparalleled brutality.
Drag marks. Can you see these?
In danger of overstaying their welcome.
I just want you people to leave me alone.
The first in a 2-part sizzler, Water Rats Monday.
Having trouble getting into your jeans? Get into the jeans that fit. Riders by Lee.
The Drama and Emotion VR, 8:30 Thursday on NBN.
11 minutes. Queensland 1 point behind.
And John Simon, he hit a beautiful field goal because it was on a difficult side for the right footer. But I'm just wondering, at the other end of the field, whether the Jason Smith nothing play on their last tackle could be the most crucial one of the game. John Smith, a lovely drop goal exponent. Has he wrapped the series up for 97 for the New South Wales Blues?
Looking for a score to win the game. Now with New South Wales in front, it's only Queensland, and if New South Wales go a little negative and try and protect it, we've only got one team trying to score, and that could be interesting in the final moments.
Ben Aiken casting a boot as he takes the tackle. Lamb across, and Billy Moore is there like a faithful servant. I don't know that he's got enough power left in the legs to get him there, Billy Moore. He's made 27 tackles and 10 hit-ups, and every time his captain has called on him, he's been there. But I don't know if there's enough juice in the tank. Larson now hits it up, 21 metres away from the Blues line. New South Wales under 10 minutes away from wrapping up the Origin. Stuart Kelly put down by McGregor. 5 tackles gone. Now they're 12 metres out. Smith away for Lamb. Lamb's cross kick. Dallas is after it. He's come down with nothing. No, he's come down with the football.
6 again.
In fact, it's not Dallas, but there's 6 more. One of his teammates came down with the ball. It was Gary Larson. Now Mark Coyne was involved in that enormous finish at the football stadium some years ago. It's Julian O'Neill. Look out, here they come. Bartram is 2 metres out from the line. Told to play the ball. Kelly gets it away. O'Neill pushes it on. Billy Moore is with it. Shovels it down for Craig Smith. He gets it back for Jason Smith. Then it is taken to ground. And to play the ball inside the 20-metre line. Robbie O'Davis. Then it's gone from Billy Moore. Back for Adrian Lamb. And the little fellow tries to duck under the tackles. On 5. The dummy half is Goddard. He's looking for O'Neill. No, it's Robbie O'Davis. He tries to level it up. And it's been touched in flight. So he's ordered the turnover to New South Wales.
I don't understand the play. I don't understand what 15-all does for you. It can't win you the series. New South Wales are the holders of the shield. And it's let New South Wales off light, I believe.
73rd minute is gone as Ozkygrouch plays it.
A couple of big defensive tackles from Paul McGregor. Bartram looked as though he was going to score on this side of the field, but McGregor poleaxed him. As now New South Wales, no mistake stuff out of their own danger area. Dean Pay takes it to halfway. They'll look for John Simon very shortly to get it to the other end of the field.
Mark Kay, 43 metres away from the line, and this is the last tackle coming now. Simon has gone over to the short side. Here he is, operating there with a grubbing kick. It crosses the touchline about 27 metres away from the Queensland line.
Well, the clock is on their side, so it's not a bad tactic to put the ball out. Coming now into the last 6 minutes of this game. Queensland, they're going to have another opportunity. And how far out that will be late in their tackle count remains to be seen. Smith leaves the field. It's a Craig variety.
Whichever way it goes, it's been a great contest. Look, oh, here they are trying to put Ben Ikin down the ground. Spreading the ball quickly. Now Matt Singh, then Julian O'Neill. Billy Moore back up the centre. And he's about 7 metres on his own side of the halfway as he plays it back for Goddard. And now for Tierney. And a short pass away. And playing the ball is Wayne Bartram. Now on the right, Lamb to Jason Smith, and he jinks and tries to bust them, but he's put away. Just into New South Wales area, trailing by a point, Queensland. Lamb into the hands of O'Neill. O'Neill floating it. Ben Ikin enjoying playing. Oh! McGregor has gone high on Matt Singh. And David Manson calling McGregor across. And the New South Wales trainers have been called in as well.
Well, I've got to say, I'm not thinking of the tackle here at the moment. I'm thinking of whether Queensland have got a kicker who can put them one in front from 38 metres out, 8 metres in from the sideline.
You can bet your bottom dollar that Julian O'Neill will have the confidence to do it.
Well, David Manson's helped him here. He's taken the play 10 metres in from touch. That tackle was right on the sideline. David Manson has now given Wayne Bartram, or is it Julian O'Neill, a chance. And Julian O'Neill is no stranger to last minute wins through his boot from the sideline.
Matt Singh back on the inside. I was just praising the defence of Paul McGregor only moments ago. The wrong footing of Matt Singh. He was taken very high by the big centre. Queensland bench. Well, Chris Close, he wants New South Wales to finish with 12.
Yes, I think Chris was remembering Close. That David Manson did send a player off last year.
Chris Close wanted him off. Fatty Morton was immediately looking for a kicker.
Well,
what about this?
It's probably fair to say that Julian O'Neill, of all players, has got State of Origin #2 and the series in his hands or on that right foot. There it goes. It's coming around. Has it got the length? No, it fell short. It fell short. The coach's face fell short at the same time. But can they get the ball back?
He was on target. He just didn't have the distance as McGuinness beats a tackle. 25 out. Sears now, the little men, the quick men, out of dummy half.
3.5 minutes to go. New South Wales in front by a point. Kosef near the halfway line. Tuvu running, as I said, in the latter part, the last 13 minutes. He's been running and running every time from dummy half. Simon's kick, in the overall scheme of things, wasn't such a brilliant one. Singh tackled on his own 30-metre line, giving the Queenslanders probably one more chance. 40 metres out from his own line, played by O'Davis. Now it's Tierney, and I make that the third tackle. He's had it taken off him. Well, their ball security has fallen apart in the second half.
Wouldn't be surprised, Ray, if Neil Tierney actually threw the football to his opponent there. There are a couple in the tackle. He was releasing the football, trying to pick up support on the outside.
Carroll storming back inside the 30-metre line. So the trophy looks pretty safe to be resident again in New South Wales.
Somehow, if John Simon at the end of this could get it into the in-goal area, in fact, he may not kick now, but if they could get it into the in-goal area and force a line drop out, it's all over.
This will level up the series count overall as Muir finds McGregor. He kicks ahead and it finds the dead ball line. So out to the 20-metre line. They've got on our timepiece 1 3/4 minutes to go 80 metres. 1 point the difference in favour of the Blues. Jason Smith, Larson, and then they go back towards Brett Dallas's wing. Coy finds the red-headed North Sydney player, and Brett Dallas 38 metres out from his own line. Jason Smith across. Julian O'Neill. Ben Aiken is taken out of it. McGregor's tackle and the ball comes loose. Manson orders a knock-on.
They've been courageous, Queensland, but really the New South Wales defence, when it's been most important, has come up with the big plays, forcing errors. They've been strong in the latter 30 minutes of this game. I really think this game changed when Adrian Lamb had to leave the field with his ankle injury. Queensland lost their momentum. New South Wales steadied the ship, and in the last 30 minutes have come up with a field goal to retain the trophy. The two great games, two great State of Origin games. 2 points the first one, 1 point the second one. And congratulations to all players and all coaches.
And we can rest assured that Queensland will be trying to put a big push on this. I think it was more the case when it was originally fed by Tuvey. This time, though, New South Wales safely with it. Tuvey still barking instructions, and fairly predictable they are. On the 40-metre line, played by Adam Muir. The siren has sounded. Sears takes it to ground, and the State of Origin, the Coca-Cola State of Origin for 1997, has been won by New South Wales 2 matches to 0. 8-6 at Suncorp and 15-14 at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. It might not have been a big crowd by MCG standards, but they have seen a gripping game of rugby league. Tom Raudonikis on his way, and Paul Vorton, to greet their players. Tommy Raudonikis almost begged for the job, and has been for several years. And an emotion. Raudonikis is with his players now. One of the great rugby league number 7s of all time. A likeable rogue in the minds of most rugby league supporters. And he knocked on the door, he begged for the job, and he's come up with the 1997 trophy. Now let's go down to Trevor Gilmester. He's with Billy Moore, one of the heroes. Yes, Trevor?
Billy, what can I say, mate? So close, and you had plenty of opportunities, mate. What do you do?
Oh, mate, you know, it's pretty devastating, isn't it? You know, like, everyone threw everything they had at that game. You know, we obviously started very poorly again, and we came back. I thought we had it in the bag.
Well, you're all over them, weren't you, there at one stage, and I thought you started the second half sensational.
Yeah, we did. We knew that the start of the second half had to be the most important half we'd played all year, and we did that. Like, you look at it, field goal, maybe we should kick that. Jules, unlucky. Could have scored a try, kick missed, but, mate, you know as well as I do, we don't play a game of ifs, do we?
No, I know. As I said, I was just dumbfounded myself. You've made that many yards during the game, and just a few drop balls, mate, different crucial times, I suppose.
Yeah, mate, we did. I was responsible for one of them late in the game, and those sort of things late in the game really do hurt bad.
it really takes the sting out of your attack. And, you know, to our credit, we kept picking ourselves up, but, you know, as much as it hurts me to say, you know, good luck to them. They were the better side of the night. You can't deny they won the game, but, you know, I think we can all hold our head high, I suppose.
I can say so, Billy. You had a great game too. Back to you, Raps.
OK, Trevor, thank you. And to Billy Moore, that's always tough when you're on the losing side. Here's Steve Roach. He's with the New South Wales captain, Jeff Toohey.
Well, Jeff, congratulations, mate. A dour struggle in the end, but you got home.
Yeah, it was. You know, we probably had our best opening 20 minutes or so. Probably got a bit complacent there and started offloading the ball a bit too much, let them back in the game.
Yeah, I thought you tried to force the football after you led 14-0, just coming out of the and then that allowed Queensland to get back into it.
Yeah, we lost a bit of momentum coming out of there, a couple of mistakes, and you know, those sort of mistakes in State of Origin football can cost you the match.
And plenty of desperation from both sides in that game.
Yeah, there was. You know, we potted a field goal there at the end, and they had a chance to win it with that last-minute penalty goal, but fortunately for us, they missed.
What about the field goal? 40 metres out and to 20 metres to the right of the post. Super kick.
Yeah, there was some doubt. I don't know whether he was going to kick it at first, but the boys started yelling out 1 point, 1 point, and he seemed to change his mind and just potted over with ease.
And tell us about the feeling, mate, being the skipper of the New South Wales side.
Yeah, it's been great. You know, we're a bit worried coming down here. The boys were a bit complacent in camp early in the week, but we had a bit of a meeting and got together and knuckled down at training, and it came off for us.
OK, Jeff, thanks very much for your time, mate. Go and enjoy your team, mate.
Thanks, Blogger.
Good on you, mate.
Steve Roach then talking to Jeff Toohey. Just 1 point the difference here at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. 3 tries per side. McGuinness, Kosef and Dimmick in the first half for New South Wales. Singh and O'Davis finished the first half well for Queensland with tries at 33 and 37. And Dallas was in at the 45th in the second half. Steve Roach again is down there with the Chief from Newcastle.
Well, Chief, that's as good as any win that you've ever been involved with in the State of Origin.
Yeah, the climax was great, you know, 1 point at the end, but it's always good playing at Melbourne, and every time we played here it's been terrific, and tonight was no different.
Well, different sort of game this one, the second one, a lot of open football, not much to do with the forwards up the middle of the ruck.
No, even the forwards in go forward were offloading. At times it wasn't on, but there's plenty of offloads, plenty of open football. And I suppose the people want to see that, but it was a different game than the first one.
Do you think you let yourselves down a little bit in the second half by trying to force the football that allowed Queensland back in it?
Oh, well, the last 10 minutes of the first half we started to do it, and we played, you make one mistake, they score, and again it happened in the second half, but we just had enough time towards the second part of the second half to regain ourselves and just play some good football again, and we got back on top.
I've got to ask you about the field goal, mate. That was just sensational. Didn't look like missing.
Nah, and the good thing about it was nice and early, so it put pressure on Queensland for the like 10 minutes out, which was good.
OK, mate, congratulations on a series win.
Thanks, Block. Appreciate it, mate.
Steve Roach there with the eyes of an eagle hawk. Never looked like missing, eh? Good on you, Stephen. All right, we've got to go to a break. We've got a lot more to come from the Melbourne Cricket Ground in front of 25,000 people tonight. We're about to take a break and come back. Blocker will interview the Nokia $1,000 Man of the Match award winner, and Ken Sutcliffe and Peter Sterling still to come. It's on the other side of this break on the 9 Network.
The following fan cam messages were recorded live at Suncorp Stadium on Origin night and will be shown to the Maroons before they take the field for Origin 2.
You know you make me want to...
Push you, second rowers! Billy Moore, yes! Queenslander! 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 It's not over till the first thing!
Don't worry, we'll be back.
There was a time when the only performance vehicles on the road had just 2 seats. That was then. This is now. The new Chrysler Voyager. With a 3.3-litre V6 engine and car-like handling, it could be a luxury performance vehicle. Except it has dual sliding doors, 7 seats, and enough space to take a 2-seater performance vehicle along with you. Voyager, new from Chrysler. What's new in your world?
The healthiest way to live is close to nature. So to help give you healthy hair, Palmolive Naturals uses natural ingredients.
Palmolive Naturals with jojoba nourishes and softens dry hair. With chamomile, gives your hair vibrancy. And with aloe vera, gives fine hair, body and fullness. Palmolive Naturals. You can't always get close to nature, but your hair can.
Here's your chance to support these telethon events. The Gloucester Uniting Church Fellowship will be holding a luncheon on Tuesday, June the 17th from 10:30 a.m. in the church hall. Guest speaker will be Nerida Walker from the John Hunter Children's Hospital. All proceeds from the day will go towards the NBN telethon. For further information, phone Colleen on 065 581390. And Morpeth Bowling Club will be holding a black tie ball on Saturday, June the 28th. Cost for the night will be $25 per person, which includes a 3-course dinner and entertainment by the Revivals. For more information, phone Morpeth Bowling Club on 342 325. If you have a telethon fundraiser, take advantage of Telethon Diary. Send your details to PO Box 1000, Newcastle, New South Wales 2300.
Back at the MCG, New South Wales wrapping up the series for 1997, winning Game 2, 15-14, an absolute thriller. And Peter Sterling, there we have the scoreboard and 3 tries apiece. But boy, oh boy, you don't get much better than that, do you?
No, Ken, and I've got to say, deep down, I feel a touch sorry for Queensland. But in retrospect, they paid the penalty for a very poor first 30 minutes in this game. 3 tries apiece. It came down to the John Simon field goal. It was a beauty because it was from a tough side for a right footer. And unfortunately for Queensland in 97, they've lost the series. They've lost 5 in a row, the first time that's ever happened. And we've also now got an 8-all series over the 16 years off State of Origin football.
Ben Eichen there, and of course Brett Dallas, and Brett was there who scored the first try of the second half for Queensland, put them right back into the match. But they played so very well. They played with a lot of heart, and they probably took a couple of bad options, as you pointed out, and those 2 bomb tries are going to haunt them for a while.
Yeah, they got some momentum in the last 10 minutes of the first half, and that continued on. We saw Brett Dallas score the try, and it did seem to be going Queensland's way. But as Paul Harrigan pointed out, they were able just to settle themselves down. When Dallas was able to wrong foot Jamie Ainscough and get across in the corner, you thought, well, you know, they're on a roll. They're playing confidently and so much to play for. Again, Phil Gould pointed out the Adrian Lamb injury, how that affected them for probably 10 or 15 minutes. And at that stage, maybe if he'd have been on the field, he might have been able to get them clear, but it wasn't the case.
Well, we've got the field goal. This is the one, and you said at the time, probably 2 or 3 minutes leading up to the next person who scores, I think they've probably got the match to themselves, and what a good field goal it was. And I don't think it was probably planned, judging by what Paul Harrigan said.
Also pointed out, Ken, that these are the kind of games where people rise to the occasion, and pressure in these kind of situations, you can react 2 ways. You can either not handle it, or you can come up with something special, and that's what we saw John Simon do.
The players you like tonight, they're impressed you? Plenty out there.
I won't give away our man of the match, but I thought Robbie O'Davis was absolutely outstanding for Queensland. He just did not make a mistake all night. The front rowers from both teams I thought were very good. The workload of both Paul Harrigan and Mark Carroll really, again, set the platform for their side.
OK, well, we'll be back with the man of the match right after the break.
Here's the answer to this hour's frequent viewer club question.
keep watching NBN to earn your viewer points. Remember, the more you watch, the more points you earn. The more points you earn, the more awards you can receive. While Monica wants to make a withdrawal,
I don't need an actual man, just a couple of his best swimmers.
someone's already made a deposit.
Joey, this is you.
But Joey's boys aren't big sellers.
Nobody wants my product.
Friends, followed by Caroline, Monday on NBN. It's a public relations disaster.
It was the land's fault.
Will she ever shake it?
One more senseless lamatad.
And romance.
That's the outfit that says your place or right here.
On Sybil.
That's sick. Duh.
Friday, 8:30 on NBN. They've lifted the bar another level.
And that chock full of cheeseburgers all about the bus.
After that Bill Lorry scene,
Love me true.
they can do anything.
I want you back.
What will they pull off next? Find out 9:30 Thursday on The Footy Show, here on NBN.
I can't lie!
Experience the madness of Jim Carrey.
Nobody's going to the bathroom during this one.
The making of Liar Liar next. After that Bill Lorry scene,
Love me true.
they can do anything.
I want you back.
What will they pull off next? Find out 9:30 Thursday on The Footy Show, here on NBN.
I can't lie!
Experience the madness of Jim Carrey.
Nobody's going to the bathroom during this one.
The making of Liar Liar next.
Just repeating once again, New South Wales wrapping up the 97 State of Origin series, winning Game 2 15-14 here at the MCG. And with the man of the match, here is Steve Roach.
Well, $1,000 Nokia man of the match, and also the winner of the 8110 Nokia mobile phone goes to Paul McGregor, New South Wales centre. Magnificent game of football, that one, wasn't it?
Very good block. It was, you know, we were up 14-0 and we didn't start completing our sets of 6, and they made us pay full credit to them. But, you know, there's a lot of spirit in this place, and that's 5 in a row now, so hopefully we can keep it going next one.
I didn't think you got the football enough in the first game, but tonight was different. 14 points to nil just after 20 minutes. Outstanding performance from the outside backs.
Yeah, it was good, you know. We talked about it, training them, shift the ball a little bit. I think every first State of Origin, you know, of the series, it's a little bit tight and the forwards like to mix it up a bit, but the second and third one, they throw it around a bit, and full credit to the inside blokes. They got us a bit of clean ball, and we made them pay. We were up 14-0, but unfortunately they come back and it was right down the wire.
Well, some magnificent attack from you in the first half, but it was your defence in the second half that really shut out the Queenslanders from scoring there near the end.
Yeah, you know, we talked about it at half-time about our defence out wide. We had to pick it up a little bit. They caused a couple of times, but, you know, with Jimmy going off, it made it that little bit harder, but Matty Sears talked up pretty good, and Kenny McGuinness for his first game I thought played very well. Just all around, you know, all the boys, I'd like to thank them all, and you know, I wish everyone, you know, hello at home.
Yeah, good on you, mate. Congratulations on behalf of Channel 9 and Nokia, and deserved win.
Thanks, Channel 9, thanks, Nokia.
Good on you, mate.
Two very good games, State of Origin games for Paul McGregor. Sterlo?
Tonight, especially early in the game, he was barnstorming. He went a little bit quiet, and that probably coincided with no Jim Dimmick on the field. And at the end, it was his defence that helped get them home. In fact, the tackle on Wayne Bartram in the corner was probably a match saver. And the one on Singh, which almost cost them the match, you know, the two-pointer that Julian O'Neill went for, but it was a desperation tackle and probably one that they'll look back and say, well, that may be one of us. There were plenty of people in the New South Wales camp that breathed a sigh of relief when that fell short, but none more so than Paul McGregor. You're right about that. OK, with Andrew Voss is down in the dressing room, and he is with the Queensland coach, Fatty Borton.
Paul, it's a cliche, so close yet so far, but if ever there's a case of it, it has to be tonight.
Yeah, it's been one of the bravest efforts I've ever seen from a Queensland side. We gave them 14 start. We had players down left, right and centre. Adrian Lamb had to have a needle to get back on the field. Jason Smith had concussion. We had Clinton O'Brien could hardly even walk, amongst a host of other players, and they just gutsed it out. And, well, we didn't get the right result, did we?
How does a coach in this situation find words for his players when they come back to the room? They're just empty there.
I told the players how proud I was of them to perform the way they did under the circumstances. Told them to keep their heads up, be proud of themselves. That I think all of Queensland would be proud of them, despite the fact we got beaten. It was just a magnificent effort by the blokes in the maroon jumpers, and I was certainly proud of them.
I know you're doing it a bit tough here, Fatty. Now, if you can do some sort of post-mortem, is there a period of the match you'd love to replay again?
Oh, the first 20 minutes was just diabolical from us. We just handed them 14 points on a plate. Our ball control was ordinary, defence out wide was ordinary, and that was it. And, you know, we won the next 60 minutes, 14-1. And then we had a field goal. Robbie O'Davis, he'd kicked that 100 times out of 100 at training. Julian missed a kick. Matty Singh scored a try in the first half and didn't bring it right around anyway. But that's all. That's footy.
Well, it was 2 points the first game, 1 point tonight. I mean, they can say it's a dead rubber the third game, but you get the feeling it's not going to be the case this year. This Queensland side's played well enough to walk away with something from the series.
Yeah, we haven't been outplayed, outcoached. We just have had no luck. We'll win the third one.
Thanks for your time, Paul.
You're welcome.
And right now, Steve Roach is with the winning coach, Tommy Rodonigus.
Well, the winning coach down here, Tommy Rodonigus. Congratulations, mate. How are you feeling?
I feel terrific, and like I said, we've had, you know, our weeks in camp have been great. We tied the series up tonight, which we wanted to do, and but the boys aren't going to rest on their laurels. We want to go out and make it 3 in a row, which we're going to do.
Well, outstanding effort from New South Wales in the first 20 minutes to lead 14 points to 0. Plenty of open spaces out there.
Yeah, it's funny, on bigger grounds, like the cricket ground, it's funny, and I told everybody we played more open football tonight, and that was the case. But I think we tried to push the ball in our own half a bit when we dropped it, and they scored all those tries, and give them credit too. They're a very good football side, but we're better.
Paul McGregor was outstanding in the first half in attack, but his defence, his desperation in the second half was just tremendous.
Well, you know, mate, I thought that's the best I've had him in the countryside for the last 3 years. Best I've ever seen him play, and he's the best centre in the world.
Well, Tommy, what do you do tonight, mate, after the win?
Well, mate, I just want to meet the new Queensland coach and wonder who that's going to be.
Good on you, mate. Thanks for talking to us.
Very provocative. Sink the boot in what you can, Tommy.
He didn't miss him.
Did not.
But as was pointed out, very important that this third game, I was involved in a whitewash of Queensland 3-0. Nothing sweeter than that. I've also been on the other side where we got beaten 3-0. That's an empty feeling. So there's a lot to play for in the third match as well. With the shackles off, it may well be the most entertaining of all. And game 3 you will see on Wide World of Sports, and it should be a beauty. It will be coming to you from the Sydney Football Stadium, New South Wales against Queensland, live 7:30 on Wednesday the 25th of June. So on behalf of the entire Wide World of Sports team, including, of course, Peter, thank you very much for your company. And, of course, the best caller in the business, Ray Warren, thanks very much for joining us here. Until we meet again, bye for now from the MCG.